showing that we have a incoming message. Houston, our instruments are showing that we have a incoming message from deep space. Repeat, Houston, we have an incoming message from deep space. Houston, we'll begin playing message now. Houston, we're going to try and translate that up here. Hold for translation. Translation complete. We'll begin playing message now.
Hey, it's me, Melissa.
What do you do when the aliens invade? Take a shot of MKUltra and watch Melissa Jade. Put on your tinfoil hat and tune right in. We got that crime spree, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, a complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects, a mind expanding, fake moon landing, what are dolphins understanding? It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Aliens is on the sun, or in Area 51. Time travels, unravels, haunted castles, cops are baffled, potential experimental thoughts that make you transcendental. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Crime sprees, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects, a mind expanding, fake moon landing, what are dolphins understanding? It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Mallory.
Hello.
We got a Wolfie backstage. Hi, Wolfie. Hi. Hello, Heather Bratt. The thing about that thing, Claudia, K-Breeze, Harlot, People Me. We got Meatfoot, Lucia, Pointer Lover, Spilled Paint, Foxfire, Tony, Pretty Bug, Tess, Legendary, Under Review. Under Review was in my chat yesterday, Mallory, and was like, sorry guys, I'm late. I've been binging down the Kate Middleton conspiracy. And I was like, I was just told about that. Mallory's the one who told me about it, and I've been binging it now for 2 days. And I'm like, we have to cover this.
Yeah, it's been a rabbit hole.
Yes, it is. Hi, Tia. Oh, who else? Hippie Chick. Let me see. Shay Benet, Robin, Angel D. Hi, guys. Aunt Lala. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you are familiar with the conspiracy or at least the discussion of what's going on as far as Kate Middleton being MIA. Well, not just Kate Middleton, right? Kate Middleton and the kids being MIA. I didn't know about this prior to 2 days ago.
Yeah, I found out about it, I want to say over the weekend, maybe like last weekend, but it's popped off. Shit has popped off.
It is like, when did the discussion actually start though, or did it only just start currently?
I think it depends. I think there are a lot of people that as soon as she wasn't seen, can you guys hear me well?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. As soon as she wasn't seen after Christmas, people were like, where is she? Where is she? And then it was this, excuse and this excuse and this excuse. And it was kind of all over the place. So I think there are a handful of people that questioned it earlier on, but everything popped off a lot more after Kensington Palace put out the Mother's Day photo. So.
Claudia says every channel in Australia reports on it. That's funny that you say that, because we were going through the timeline, because it's very important to know the timeline before you even start to break down like the theories surrounding it. And the one that I had just grabbed, and I said, I think this is the best one, Mallory. It's an Australian news channel, and they did a really, really great job. And I was writing it all down. And then I got halfway through the video and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to play it because it has great visuals and it's just a lot easier to do it that way. But it's all the Australian networks. Thank you so much, Foxfire. Foxfire just gifted a membership. Congratulations. If you are the recipient, please make sure you thank Foxfire in the chat. But yes, before we even get started, our amazing panel guest that we have tonight is Mallory, and she has her own channel called MALicious Intent. Nightbot will be dropping it throughout the night. But before we even get started, if you're not already subscribed, please click on the link that Nightbot's about to drop. Take a second, click over, subscribe. She has an amazing channel. She covers all of the cases in true crime, and it's definitely worth it if you aren't already subscribed.
Thank you.
There we go. We have Nightbot right there. I'm excited.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to cover the smaller cases, so ones that don't necessarily get all the coverage here on YouTube. So it's not usually a hot button topic, but I promise it'll be good information.
They're the cases that need more coverage, though, you know?
Yeah.
So thankful for channels that are willing to do that.
Yeah, exactly. But thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course. Thank you for coming on. And thank you, Blader Lover, for being a member for 17 months. Okay, I'm excited. I know Wolfie's been following it a little bit. Mallory's much more familiar with it than I am. Like I said, I just started going down this rabbit hole 2 days ago. But basically, the princess and her children, they're missing. They're gone. Who knows?
Yeah.
They Houdini'd. They're gone, and nobody has actually laid eyes on them. I had no idea about this. Nobody has laid eyes on them since Christmas. And anybody who follows the conspiracy stuff, you know, there's always conspiracies surrounding the royals. I even covered, you know, the queen being a reptilian. Don't judge me. I'm not saying I believe it. I'm just saying there's the whole rabbit hole of the queen being a reptilian. People have side-eyed those royals from day one. And then we had the whole Meghan and Harry situation. Well, this is bizarre. I think it's very, very bizarre because I don't know what's going on, but something sketchy is going on. And thank you so much, Mindy Carr. So, oh my gosh. Stop it, Thistle.
She was. When I
really?
I brought it up to her. Yeah, when I brought it up to her the other day, she was like, "It wasn't me. It wasn't me." Because she really was just there.
Are you serious? Oh my God, you should have been boots on the ground. You should have done a JLR style boots on the ground. I'm outside Buckingham Palace right now with an inside scoop. Where is Kate Middleton?
And then everyone's like, "Oh, Thistle, okay."
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's actually really awesome. I would love to visit there. I like watching the videos of the people who are trying to make the guards crack up because they're not supposed to break, you know, like their face, their stature, keep it serious. And it's usually a kid who makes them crack up, but I like watching those videos.
Oh,
really?
Or when
there was
they
no
actually
guard.
do break.
Yeah.
When
I've watched ones where I've watched ones where the guards like it in serious form all of a sudden trip and then they freaking like fall over Tisha style, but they will not crack. They'll just get right back up and form their line and do it. It's very serious. Okay. All right. This up. So I think the best place to start before we pull up the photos, before we pull up all of that stuff, is honestly going through this 7 News Australia timeline. And like I said, I originally was writing everything down, but I think it's worth seeing this video because it gives you the detailed timeline of the events that took place, how everything unfolded, and you really need to keep in mind those dates for moving forward to understand like how suspicious everything is. So that's what I'm going to start with. Let me pull this up. So I'm going to we're going to pause it and we're going to commentate as we do it. Actually, let me see. What do I got here? I got like this. I got like this. Let me edit this. Yeah, that works, but I want to move you there.
BRB.
See, you're not naked for me though, Wolfie.
I know. I don't understand. I don't know.
Everyone's
Let me
saying you're
try.
naked, but on here I see you
I
as.
don't. Oh no, that cannot be.
You're not naked for me.
No, me either.
And
It
hello
must
to
not be on
anybody
the
who's
stream
tuning
though.
in.
It's just in the chat.
Yeah.
I guess it's, yeah. We'll just change your outfit and come back. Okay. All right. So we're going to, congratulations. I'm glad you got gifted, Julian. Well, that's awesome, Julian. It may have been Elena. I'm not sure, but I'm just glad that you got one. So we're going to start with this. We're going to stop. We're going to commentate throughout, but this is just the timeline, and you need to know the timeline, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That has taken over the internet. Where is Kate Middleton? Now, this is easy to dismiss as some sort of tinfoil hat conspiracy, but there are some very strange elements to this story, particularly when you look at the timeline of dates. So let's go back in time and do that. 12th of September 2023, Kate Middleton reveals a finger injury.
Okay. So and this ties into one of the theories, because
Yeah.
you're going to see one of the theories later on has very much to do with the injuries that Kate has. Hold on one second. Yes, I can make it a little bit bigger, but this thing is weird, like as far as playing other content, like, so I have to keep us big too. And I also have to like pause it an obnoxiously amount of times. Wait, it didn't get bigger.
Nope. There we go.
Okay. So as you can see, her two fingers right there are taped together.
And she claims at that point in time, when she comes out doing this, that she had fallen on the trampoline with her kids, and that is how she hurt her fingers.
But her kids are older. Do we know the exact ages of her kids, actually? They're older. They're not like young.
Well, the youngest one is still young. I think the youngest one's maybe, here, I'm just going to Google it, but I'm pretty sure he's only like 6 at the oldest.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm looking.
Yeah. Hi, LSU Nancy Drew.
Yeah.
Hi,
so
Norris Grandma.
Prince George, which is the oldest, he's 10. Princess Charlotte is 8, and Prince Louis is 5.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's still young enough to have an incident on the trampoline with, I guess.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Which she claimed happened when she was trampolining.
So as you can see, but I will say, I don't see any bruising really there or much inflammation. So, but that doesn't mean obviously she couldn't have jammed the finger or whatever. But hi, fur coat mama. I'm not sure, but okay, just keep in mind.
Hi, Miss Arnold.
With her kids.
So that's September 12th. September 12th, guys.
Enough. Then 3 weeks later, on the 5th of October, Kate is pictured with 2 fingers still bandaged together. Seems like it.
Okay, so 2 weeks later, October 5th, her 2 fingers are still taped together. Now, I don't particularly know what the recovery process is. I've jammed my fingers a couple of times as a kid, but I don't remember how long I kept the splint on. But you could see they're still bandaged over 2 weeks later. So a pretty significant injury on the trampoline, I guess. Do you know how long they tape your fingers up for something like that?
It does say 4 to 6 weeks for full pain-free function. But I mean, it also says 1 to 2. So I don't know.
Okay, I guess it varies. But look, she's like, I think that's a ball she's throwing up in the air of some sort. So she's able to be active on it, move it, but she may just have it kind of like taped just for more support. I don't know.
Or that she doesn't hurt it again while playing some type of ball of some kind.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Twizzle's sick hands are super complicated. 4 to 6 weeks for broken fingers, at least for me it was. Yeah, and that's why I said I didn't see any bruising or too much swelling to where I would think broken, but even jammed is very painful.
Must have been a pretty rough trampolining injury. On the 22nd of December, Wills and Kate announced an official trip to Italy.
Okay, so they come out and it says Kate Middleton and Prince William are set for a royal visit to Italy in the spring and could meet Pope Francis in the Vatican. The royal couple will make a short visit to the Italian capital in the spring, and it was set for early January, right, Mallory?
Yes. Yep. Sometime in early January is when this was set. Now, when did they say that this was announced? December 22nd.
December 22nd.
Yeah.
But what at this point was her planned surgery announced yet? I don't think so, right?
No. Nope.
Okay.
Nope. So they specifically announced this, which is why when they eventually do, which will come up in the timeline, announce this planned surgery, people are like, isn't that planned surgery the same time as your planned vacation, as well as other planned things that you guys were set up to be in that they all had to cancel? So
yes, LA. Yep. Okay. All right. So December 22nd, they come out. Kate and Prince William are planned for a royal visit to Italy and could possibly even meet the Pope. All right. That's something that definitely is planned ahead of time. Events are organized around it. Okay. Gotcha.
Scheduled for early 2024. Now, if you're planning major surgery of any kind for early 2024, it seems unlikely that you would also announce a trip to Italy at the same time. Then, December 25, Christmas Day 2023, the last verified public appearance of Kate Middleton and also of the 3 children.
So this is the last time anyone, and I can't believe I have not heard of this because you'd think it would be bigger news, man. The last time anyone has ever set eyes on Kate or the kids has been Christmas 2023. This feels like Shelley Miscavige.
it's yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
I didn't know there was no pictures of her since Christmas either.
Yeah, I was hearing about that too, because someone was like, if one of the theories is so inaccurate, why has she not been seen either since that time frame?
Okay, that's interesting. So the last event, now you have to also remember Kate, and this was like someone did a TikTok video about this too. Kate, right after giving birth, would come out on the steps fully done up in heels to show off her baby, because that's the tradition, like that's what they do. And so I don't know what type of abdominal surgery she had, and but it was planned, and they were like, all right, she's great. To say that she couldn't, because this was going around, there was a lot of conspiracies to make it seem like she can't even hop on a Zoom real quick, and hey, I'm okay, guys, thanks for the worry, but I'm good, when she literally was out on the steps time after time again when having these kids. Right. Hours after giving birth. She's a strong woman, she could do it. So that tells me something else is going on here.
Yeah, and I think too, one of the big red flags when it came to this surgery as well was, number one, when they announced this was right around the same time that they announced King Charles's cancer. Yep. And they were very somewhat specific on that, but they were very vague on hers. But then also another aspect of that was interesting was they said that she was going to be staying in the hospital to recover for up to 14 days, which there's been a lot of different doctors and surgeons and stuff that have gone on TikTok and stuff like that, that have been like, I can't think of a surgery that you're in hospital for 14 days.
Right.
And so people are like, what could be so significant that she has to be in the hospital for that amount of time?
Right. Like gallbladder surgery, you could be in and out the same day, but sometimes overnight, like I'm trying to think of planned surgeries ahead of time that is an emergency. I don't know, man.
Right.
14 days is a long time.
Yeah.
If she had an emergency, but going by the official narrative, it wasn't an emergency. But okay, if she had an emergency hysterectomy with a full 8 to 10 inch cut, instead of it being laparoscopic, that's a huge trauma physically, emotionally, and mentally. Absolutely. There's a big difference between laparoscopic versus having to go in and make a cut. But I don't know. Then I also ask, well, does she get special additional treatment because she's the princess? But then I would argue myself and say, yeah, she gets to go home sooner.
Yep.
Because she has her own people to help her recover, not stay there.
Yeah,
longer.
the doctors and nurses would be able to come to the palace or wherever she's staying.
Right. The comfort of your own home, be around your family and children, and we will take care of you there. Oh, it's weird, man.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the last event, her or the children, Christmas Day 2023.
Everyone looks happy and healthy. December 28th, 3 days later, an ambulance with police escort is seen flying out of Sandringham, where the royal family was spending Christmas. There was no statement from the royals as to what that was about.
So where they were staying during Christmas, and then all of a sudden, 3 days later, December 28th, the ambulance and all the private escorts come flying out. They come flying down. What's that road called? I don't know. I can't pronounce what he just said. And the royals did not even speak on it. They did not even make an announcement. Nothing.
Even when asked.
Then,
even when asked. Thank you.
January 17, 2024.
The Princess of Wales' condition potentially more serious, admitted to this London private hospital on Tuesday, undergoing planned abdominal surgery described as successful.
Okay. So then, January 17th, 2024, her condition becomes more serious. So, okay, whatever this planned abdominal surgery was, it's something that she is battling with and I guess causing her issues, according to the official narrative, that has become more serious. And now she has to go into the hospital, have that surgery. But they put out the statement, Her Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales, was admitted to the London clinic yesterday for planned abdominal surgery. The surgery was successful. The same time period they're supposed to go to Italy. So if this was planned ahead of time, why would you plan to go to Italy and meet the Pope around this same time period? That's sketch.
Well, that too, but then also I was watching and reading into a lot of this where they said that she had a lot of obligations to a lot of the charities that she works with and stuff like that all had to be canceled in the weeks following this planned surgery. And people were like, you don't think she has the best doctors in the world that would tell her that you're not going to be able to do anything for 4 to 6 weeks? Like, there's no way that they're going to be like, oh, go ahead and plan things and you can play it by ear. Like, no, if they're saying right away that this is planned, you're going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. She's not going to be making plans to go do all of these different things with charities and stuff like that we, that she's supposed to be doing, but now she had to cancel them all. Exactly. Like, no one was aware of this happening according to the sources talking. So.
And I see like what some people are saying, hold on. I saw the comment. You can have an emergency, but the surgery has to be planned, even if it's an hour. No, I understand what you're saying, but wait until you hear the full context and the friends of the family speak. Then you'll understand, okay, this is a little bit weird. They now started deleting her obligations up until, oh my gosh. All right. We're
like
going.
Taking her picture and her name off of big things that she was supposed to be at, like where she was like one of the star like people at these events. She literally they just took her name off and took her picture off and didn't say anything.
How weird.
At this stage, the palace won't say exactly why the princess required surgery, choosing to keep her diagnosis private. But she is likely to stay in hospital for up to 2 weeks. All her engagements expected to be cancelled until after Easter.
It's announced that Kate Middleton is recovering in a hospital called the London Clinic. Now, during those 2 weeks, there are no reports of visits from her parents, her siblings, or her children.
No visits. No visit. You have even emergency, sir, right? Because we're bouncing around now for, okay, even if it's an emergency, it's planned. Okay, you're telling me you go in for emergency surgery, not a single visit from your parents, papa, mama. It was, Michelle, we're going to get into those theories after. Nothing from your children. You do not tell me Kate wouldn't want to see her children immediately. Okay. Unless she was in like very poor condition where it could potentially frighten the children. I could understand a mom saying, hey, wait, I don't want them to see me like this. But siblings, parents, children, nothing. No, nothing. Okay.
On January 18th, the day after surgery, Prince William visits the London Clinic. It was the first and last time he was known to visit, where she...
What? What?
Wow, what a gentleman.
So you go in for emergency surgery. Not only...
It wasn't an emergency, it was planned.
Well, yeah, to be fair, nothing was reported. Nothing was reported. I get, but to act like there isn't paparazzi outside, inside, like this is the royals, baby. I feel like the same way they would see William come up here, they would see family coming out. So there's no reports, but yes, to be fair, there's no reports. But William only visited one time on the 18th. So she goes in on the 17th, and then on the 18th, he is spotted one time and never again. And she stayed there for 2 more weeks, allegedly.
Yeah, and then it was him, and then I believe King Charles also stopped in, but it was only on his way to one of his appointments in the same building.
Yes. That's weird.
She was allegedly in the clinic for another 2 weeks. On January 24, UK papers report that the inner circle of the Waleses were shocked to hear of Kate's surgery. UK papers report that...
So it says, you want to read it, Mallory?
Yeah, Kate Middleton's surgery reportedly came as a surprise to the friends of the royal family. The princess, who reportedly received a get well message from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, is recuperating from abdominal surgery while Prince William focuses on their 3 children. Huh.
So none of the friends knew she even had surgery? Like
a planned surgery?
Yeah. It's just strange. It's just strange. Shakta says the British paparazzi are very thorough. They don't miss anything. The royals are they're they're the highest to them, so as far as gossip and if anything happens, they know, people want to know. And so I thought this was really peculiar, that it came as a surprise to friends of the royal family. And okay, she allegedly gets a get well message from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
Which it wouldn't be surprising though if they weren't aware necessarily. But I think we also have to take into account the aspect that the media and the royal family are much, much, much closer and in cahoots than like celebrities and the paparazzi here. And in general, there's a lot of like cooperation between the two of like, hey, we're going to give you a lot of inside knowledge on the royal family, but that means you can only print what we tell you to print about the royal family. And there's a lot of that like cooperation between the paparazzi there and the royal family. So there is a possibility that they're aware of a lot that is just not being shown due to this cooperation. I say with air quotes.
And we heard about that a lot in when Prince Harry spoke out of how much, you know, like the royal team and the paparazzi go hand in hand and they feed one another.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it takes me back. The first thing that it brings to my mind is Diana.
Yep.
Unfortunately, of how potentially close the paparazzi and the royal family are, allegedly.
Yep. Exactly.
The inner circle of the Waleses was shocked to hear of Kate's surgery and that they weren't aware of any health issues. January 26, King Charles reportedly visits Kate in hospital, but still no known visits from her kids or parents or family.
Okay, so now we're on to January 26th. Keep in mind it's January 17th when she first is admitted and has this surgery. And now we have Charles and, you know, I call her Cruella, you know, but Camille, you know, going and visiting. So we have Prince William visits once, and then they visit once, but we do not see her family at all. Now, I just think that's interesting to note for later on when we go through potential theories that none of her family is seen. Hi, Punkat.
Yep. Yeah, and I'll say too, they are very close to her parents. And so the fact that the kids aren't seen and her parents aren't seen is very, interesting.
January 28, Spanish journalist Concha Calleja claims Kate Middleton is in an induced coma after her surgery, and she cited unnamed palace sources. The next day, on January 29, Kensington Palace claims that Kate was discharged from the London clinic to continue her recovery at home.
Okay, I remember you were telling me about this. So there is a Spanish reporter who claims that Kate was in a medically induced coma, but she wouldn't give her source, but it was a source from inside the royals. And the very next day is when, on January 29th, Kate is released from the hospital. She is going to finish the rest of her recovery at home.
Yeah. But no one saw her leave.
And they were stalking it out.
Yeah.
Nobody saw Kate leave. Nobody, like, that's weird.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, she's home. She's home. I know you didn't see her walk out that door, but she's home. And she's going to finish recovering.
Yeah. And I saw someone in chat say it was the Spanish nanny. And that was one of the rumors I saw as well, was that the nanny, who was also Spanish, left their employment. And sorry, chat distracts me.
It's okay.
And that she could have potentially been the informant that was inside.
And we have Elena. Hi, Elena. Elena says another channel, Candace Owens. I like Candace. Candace Owens said she is fine, just can't be perfect all the time and needs space right now. And that's totally possible in my opinion, but it's the damn royals who it's kind of like, oh, if you're not cooperating with me, and you'll see why with the Photoshop fails we're going to get into, that is what fuels the conspiracies and the theories going crazy. And it's like, well, if you're not going to cooperate with us, we can't just be honest and say, hey, you know, time's just needed right now for mental health, which I think would do good, honestly, to show everybody's human, right? We all go through these things, but instead you Photoshop some crazy Photoshop fails.
Yeah.
At this point, Kate hasn't been seen publicly in over 35 days, and there are no photos of her exiting the hospital. On February 1, Palace aides slammed the Spanish journalist's story, which is a bit odd because they rarely comment on rumours. February 5, King Charles announces his cancer diagnosis, but doesn't say what it is or how bad it is. On the same day, UK Magazine published an article which said Kate's recovery would now be 9 months.
Okay, that's a lot to unpack. So the royals, the palace claps back at, the allegations going on that Kate is in a medically induced coma. And they're noting that, well, it's strange to begin with because they usually don't comment on rumors, but they felt the need to in this circumstance. Then on February 5th is the same day the king is announced with struggling with cancer, but doesn't get into any of the specifics of what kind and what exactly is going on here. And the same day, Princess Kate's abdominal surgery recovery could take 9 months. The Princess Wales has returned home after surgery, but an expert says she could have a long road ahead of her. 9 months of a long road. Now, to be fair, I really don't know what the recovery is for every abdominal surgery out there, but that's a long road.
Yeah. Well, it's a long road, but I think too, just based on kind of what Chat's talking about too, of, not talking about them, and she has the right to stay away, like 100%. But you also, I think, have to realize that when it comes to the royal family, there's a lot of people that when they're paying their taxes over there, that money is going directly to them. This is their royal family. A lot of the decision-making stuff can come from them. And I think that they're held to a high standard. So, it'd be somewhat the same as like, does the United States deserve to know what's wrong with their president or something like that?
Yep.
Where there's so much put out there about the royal family, and now in a time where we can't take regular media for their word all the time, we also already know that in the UK there is a lot of collusion when it comes to the media and the royals, that there's a lot of like, you do have to be very careful. And I think that adds to the fact that not only do we already not trust the media, but we're also not trusting the media that we already don't trust because they're in, as figure of speech, but in the pocket of the royals. But also, like, you just never know. But then also, once the media, which we'll see, starts pushing back on what is the official story being put out, that's why I think a lot more people are like, well, what the heck is going on?
Right.
Not necessarily just, you guys owe us and you have to tell us everything and everything like that. I think it's more of just like, at this point, there's a lot of people that are actually worried, but unfortunately, the internet is the internet, and it's turned into kind of a shit show rabbit hole.
It always does. Yeah, it always. If you leave people to speculate, they're going to speculate, but I agree with what Mallory said. Like, there's already a distrust there. But if our, like, the royals are very high up and they're very, just like Mallory said, they are paying their taxes, they're paying their dues. They expect, there always has been kind of open communication, open transparency as far as we want to know what's going on. And I like the example you use of our president, because if something was just all of a sudden MIA with our president, and it's like, we would be demanding and we would be theorizing too. Where is he? What's going on? And so I think that's very fair to say. Now, as far as the rabbit hole, like, some people's theories are just crazy and out there, and it's most likely Occam's razor. The most, simple explanation is usually the likelier explanation. But you have to wait. We're about almost halfway through this video of the timeline breakdown. Wait, listen to all the information collectively, and then see, because it wasn't this part that made people go crazy. It was then finally what they gave the public that was like, hold up. Hold up, wait a minute. That's what started fueling things and made things pop off, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think too, it was when the media a lot of times that backs the royal family started being like, eh. And like we'll get into that once it gets to that point, but I do think that there's a lot of questioning.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just gonna giggle when it comes to these photos because they are bad. They are bad, man.
It was actually
And
me.
not
I
three.
photoshopped them.
That's like
You're
something
welcome.
I do. Like I would be like, perfect.
Yep. And I'm like,
Wait a
no one's gonna
second.
tell that I just cut off my left hip. But here I
No
go.
one's gonna know. No one's gonna know.
Perfect.
2 days later, on February 7, Prince Harry jets to London for a fly-in, fly-out hospital visit to see his dad. It lasted all of 45 minutes. Queen Camilla also visited the king a number of times. But you know who didn't visit? William.
Okay, so 2 days after the king comes out with his diagnosis, Harry flies all the way in. Only stays 45 minutes, which is, I don't know though.
Classy.
And then leaves. And then Camille, same thing. This is 2 days after his diagnosis, but also the announcement that Kate's road to recovery may now be 9 months versus 3.
Mm-hmm.
Nor did he issue any kind of public well wishes. On February 9, reports emerged that Kate is, quote, on the mend and has left Windsor to continue recovering at Sandringham.
Okay, things are good. 2 days later, February 9th, the princess is on the mend and she went to Windsor. She went to Windsor to finish her recovery. Like, things are good. She's traveling. She's going back home. She's good, okay? This is what they give us. You can't get mad then when something contradicts it, though. People are going to acknowledge it. Oh, LFT.
Yeah, and that's because I send you all my pictures, LFT. So she's used to that type of Photoshop.
On February 20, Prince William puts out a statement on their joint social media account talking about the conflict in the Middle East, but there is no mention of Kate. William also used his solo monogram at...
That's some shade, man. You using solo monograms now? Why?
I'd be getting up my divorce papers at that point if he's starting to do that. I was sick.
New phone, who dis? I'm using my solo. That's some shade. That's some shade. That would cause issues. I could see that causing issues if you guys had like a dual. Now, I'm not super familiar with their monograms, but if it's normally together and all of a sudden you dropping shit solo, oh, hell no. That's like going from in a relationship to it's complicated. Yep. Excuse me?
Oh.
That's some passive aggressive shit.
At the top, which he used to use before he was married. February 27, Prince William cancels his appearance and reading at his godfather's memorial service at the last minute. So
cancels his appearance at his godfather's memorial service?
To actually do a reading, like in memorial service, and he canceled it last minute due to personal matters.
There is something going on. It's just a matter of what. And it could be something very small or it could be something bigger.
Citing personal reasons. And in the same breath, he says that Kate is doing well. Now, it's a big deal for someone like the future King of England to pull out of an event like this at the last minute, and also just tack on that his wife is fine. Now, at that point, it had been 9 weeks since Kate and their children had been seen publicly.
9 weeks! Okay? That's a long time. Yeah, that non-appearance was big, right? Oh, thank you so much, Debbie Doodles. Mia wants Aunt Brenda as queen. No, not Aunt Brenda. Oh, hold on. Let's hear a word from Aunt Brenda, shall we?
You were big. I'm serious. You look big. I only weighed 140 something.
Well, you look humongous. But anyway, darling, I know it's time for us to go. I'll holler at you later. I love you.
But 9 weeks for this family, not even the I think that's what, and I'll get into it when we theorize, but that's, I think, what pushes me a little bit more into this might be something within the marriage, that if the kids haven't been seen, because these kids are with me, even if we're fighting, I'm not saying like, just even if they're disagreeing and she's with family or something, those kids are coming with me. They're my kids, not saying that they're not Williams, but I can imagine if she's mad, and I don't know, I'm just purely speculating. But if it was something about her recovering, I would anticipate to see the kids with William, like while she's recovering. And thank you so much, Shay Benet, for just gifting 5 memberships. Congratulations if you are a recipient. And thank you, Alina. Alina also gifted 5 memberships. If you receive them, please make sure you thank Shay and Alina in the chat. Congratulations. We're so happy to have you part of the channel. So thank you. Would you not, if she was really, then I would expect to see William at the normal duties and events as normally scheduled, and the kids would be with him because he is stepping up to take on that role while she's recovering. So the fact that the kids have not been seen either, that stands out to me.
Yeah, and I know that there were a lot of people that had questioned whether or not they were going to school, and I think just based on everywhere that I've seen, they'd been pulled out of school a while back, but I'm not quite sure. I wasn't obviously able to verify that anywhere, so I don't want to say for sure. But I've also heard that her parents also spent a lot of time with the kids. So the fact that her parents have also not been seen, other than the potential of the moleless photo in the car, then like the rest of it is like the kids are not being seen, her family is not being seen, and she is not being seen. But everyone else is being seen. So that's kind of, I think, too, where it kind of puts me more towards something bigger going on than just her not wanting to be seen in the spotlight right now.
Exactly. And thank you, Glowbug, for being a member for 11 months, almost a year. Thank you so much for the support. I thought it was so funny you called it the mole photo. And we're going to get into it, guys. We're going to get into those photos. But it's really, yeah, it's the mole photo. Okay.
Yeah.
That didn't pass the online smell test. So the next day, on February 28, the hashtag #WhereIsKateMiddleton started trending. The day after that hashtag started trending, on February 29, Kensington Palace released a statement addressing the online rumours. A spokesperson...
You can read it.
Kensington Palace made it clear in January the timelines of the princess's recovery, and we'd only be providing significant updates that guidance stands. Thank you. That means nothing to me.
So again, like this woman, she's a very strong woman. I do like Kate. She's a very strong woman. She pushed herself to make sure right after giving birth. And ladies, if you know what it's like just giving birth, okay? And pristine head to toe in heels, stepping right outside hours later, holding her newborn baby to present them to the world, okay? So to act like she isn't aware, okay, let's play devil's advocate here and say, yeah, she is stunning. Let's play devil's advocate here and say what they are putting out is the truth. That is, the official narrative is what's true. I struggle to believe that Kate wouldn't even be willing to hop on a short video clip and be like, hey guys, thank you all so much for the concern. You see her even in the bed with like the flowers and the palace behind her, and thank you so much for all your concern. I can't wait to come back at once I'm fully recovered, mwah. But there isn't. There's nada, zilch. And that palace would be nagging her to get something, because they don't like the conspiracies. They want to nip it in the butt, which will lead them to do what they did, and it only backfired more. So that's telling me you guys are itching to debunk this stuff, yet she's not cooperating. That's what it appears like. She's not cooperating.
Yeah.
Now if it's just for like, hey, I'm not in the best place and I'm taking time, go for it, Kate. Like, I'm not criticizing that, but then don't put out misinformation either. I don't like that.
Yeah. Don't lie to us, and then when we call you out for lying, be like, how dare you call me out for lying? When you could just potentially be like, she's fine, she's this, she's that, whatever. Just give her time to come out. But right now, it's one excuse after another excuse.
Right. Kate, just come to the window and wave. Liars, I know. I just don't like that Shelly Miscavige vibes. And if you guys know, it happens. Okay, it happens. Don't think it's not possible. I'm not saying that's in this circumstance, but it does happen.
Well, and I was listening to what it had to have been like a British talk show or something, and they were talking about how even the Queen, before she died, she was wheelchair bound for like the last 6 months of her life. She still got up and stood on the balcony. Like, they pushed her wheelchair up to the door, pushed her out the door, had her stand there, and then she came back to the wheelchair where she was wheelchair bound. Like, after being diagnosed with cancer or whatever. And it's like, so at that point, we know that the royals, if they have the ability to, I mean, even if they don't really, they're like, I don't know. They like go to, I don't know what I was going to say after that, but like, they'll do it. So the fact that nothing is happening is crazy.
Yep. Oh, Twizzlestick. I think the Queen was 92. How old was the Queen? She was 96. Damn. She was 96.
Yeah.
Wow. And thank you so much, Mother of Cycle. That's very kind of you to say. Elena says, royals couldn't say Princess Diana locked herself in the bathroom talking to her sons through the door. The royals demand perfection. Exactly. That's the whole point. Like, if it's something as simple as, this woman needs, a mental health break, even if it's just like physical recovery, like, hey, I just need time. She's entitled to that. And I think it would even do more good to get to, because with the Queen, she was very old school. And I think that's what made Princess Diana amazing, right? Is that she didn't follow the exact rules, and she was trying to evolve into the society we are currently living in, and look what happened to her. But I think it would be good at this point to have that open communication and be able to say that, Kate's fine, she's just taking some time, she needs a mental health break or physical, whatever it may be, because she's human. At the end of the day, she is human. I don't think it is healthy that we prop celebrities, the royal family, at a very high pedestal, to the point where we don't associate them with everyday people like you or me. They could go through health issues, mental issues, whatever it may be, the same way. But that's what angered people, and it's fueling the conspiracy, is they gave us baloney. What they put out was baloney.
Well, yeah, and then I think if you add on to it the aspect of how strong the royal family is, going back, like, once I started watching all these on TikTok, obviously my entire For You page turned into this. And so there was a lot of clips of back to the Meghan and Harry interviews, of Meghan going over how, like, when I came into this family, it was the last time I saw my driver's license, my passport, my car keys. She's like, they make you give that over to them because you're not allowed to use them once you're in this family. So then it goes more into, like, she's like, it wasn't until we left and came back to the States that I had the ability to just have those in my hand. So then you're thinking of, like, I was listening to another person talk about it too, of like, that was to Meghan. So if you guys look at the comparison between how the royals treated Meghan, and they were still going very hard and taking all that stuff from her and everything like that, to then how they would treat Kate, who is the potential future queen, like, how much more strict would it be between the two? And that's just what they were doing to Meghan. So it is scary. It's scary to think of how in control they are, how much they control, how much they can control the narrative. And I think that's another reason why, because we did see everything with Princess Diana where it's like, I don't know. You know, like,
I think those are all great points.
yeah.
And I have like a serious distrust with the palace, you know, the royals in general, because of what happened with Diana.
Yep.
Person for Princess Kate said, "We were very clear from the outset that the Princess of Wales was out until after Easter, and Kensington Palace would only be providing updates when something was significant." The spokesperson reiterated the princess was, quote, "doing well." On March 4, this photo emerges.
Here we go. Okay, now we're about to get into. They kept getting pushed back. They kept getting poke. And what do? They drop the ball. Now, I'm going to be pausing the video so I could bring you out into my own photos, because we got to zoom. This is going to go too fast, and we need to stop, and we need to dive into this, okay? So I'm going to let this guy, this gentleman, say his few words, and then I'm going to bring us out, and I'm going to bring us into my own photo, because this is the first of three. The first of three. This is what Mallory referred to as the mole photo. I refer to it as the additional tire photo. But all right, let this gentleman speak, and then we're going to get into it. Oh, Jesus.
This was, quote, "doing well." On March 4, this photo emerges. It's seemingly Kate Middleton being driven by her mum in a black Audi near Windsor Castle. And it's safe to say that Kate looks different.
Okay. Safe to say, you think? Where's her mole?
She's missing her mole.
Okay. So this photo comes out March 4th, and it's allegedly, okay, Kate Middleton and her mom. Okay? Kate Middleton and her mom. Does that look like Kate Middleton to you guys?
From a distance with one eye closed.
Kate Middleton has a mole right kind of next to her smile line, that crevice on her right side. It's not there. It's not there. If only all of us could get rid of moles that miraculously. That does not look okay. The jawline.
Me and Melissa had this conversation, because she was like, you know, if she did have surgery, there's the potential of being on prednisone or something like that, where it can make your face swell, which it does. And I said, does prednisone take away your moles too, Melissa?
I didn't even notice the missing mole at first, because I was like, come on, let's be fair. All right, maybe she's on steroids, and maybe her face is swollen, and she's like, oh yeah, the steroids make your mole go away.
And I did it in all caps, though, so she knew I was serious.
But it's true. Where's the mole? I don't know. It doesn't look like her. It doesn't look like her. Like, imagine. All right. I feel like they got very similar. I don't know. Maybe that's part of the surgery. Oh, thank you, Pinche, for being a member for 3 months. I don't follow them, and even I know it's not her. Dude, it's all right. So let me pull up. And so we got to talk about this, okay? Because The hairline, I can't see too much of the hairline because her hair is down the middle. But in the photos I'm going to show you, if you zoom up, she has a lot of flyaways. You could see gray. And I'm not saying that, hey, all right, I'm going to play fair here. You know, she's in her 40s. If she was recovering from surgery, totally logical that maybe she's not keeping up with the roots and everything the way that she normally would if she was doing public appearances. So maybe she does have grays.
Was this the video, or was this the photo that the UK publications decided not to post, and it was like an LA newspaper that ended up putting it out? Because one of these photos, the newspapers and the reporters in the UK would not post it because it did not come from the people
Ooh.
that did it. And one of them, okay, so is this that one then?
I think this might be, because I know the other ones were posted.
And so it was coming from someone that was not, you know, in the handshaking with the royals type of group. Yes, this is the one that the UK won't use. Thank you, no way.
Hi, Minnie Mary. Okay, first off, there's an additional tire. There is an extra tire on this car, ladies and gentlemen. What is that? And I really think this is a mixture of AI, because AI has come a long way. Listen, it could do some amazing things, but it's not perfect. Even when I go into like my app, and now I'm not saying that they don't have much better technology than we do, but even when I go into my app that has like an AI section now, it straight up says like, don't even try to, like, if you try to do people or stuff like that, it's going to like mess up. Like, it doesn't always look right. And so I'm sure even with like really good technology, it's not perfect though. Okay. It's not, I don't think there's another car, because that's not on the road. That's not on the road there. Where's the other car? Because you would either see it to the right under the car, or you would see it more to the left. So is there just a solo two-wheel without a car, without a shadow?
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you,
and
Debbie Doodles.
I see Thistle took those pictures apparently. I've also seen the possibility that this was Pippa, her younger sister, and the facial structure is a lot more like Pippa's, but I believe she also has a mole. So everyone's moleless.
Left are recent pap pics of Kate Middleton driving a car authorized by the palace. Right is allegedly her sitting in a car last week, unauthorized by the palace. The difference in image quality is not an accident. Okay, so this is Kate Middleton with photos being released by the palace, and so yes, you are right. This is not.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Not Kate.
Okay.
Is that what you were gonna say?
Yeah, I not. The jawline and the nose is not the same. Put aside the lack of a mole, okay? It's just, it's not the same. Put a 1 if you guys think, yeah, there's a chance that could be Kate. Put a 2 in the chat if you're like, no, Jim John Doe, no.
No.
Yes.
No, sir. I mean, John, no.
I don't think we got a lot of 2s up in here. Heather, listen, and it wouldn't be the first time that they put somebody who looks a lot like, listen, I have seen some Hillary swaps that are, have you ever seen the Hillary, fake Hillary? They put these people forward sometimes when they can't make an event, or they, for whatever reason, and they're doubles, they're body doubles. So it even fuels more of that conspiracy of, okay, people are the public's starting to get antsy. They want to see her. And then we get this, allegedly, of Kate.
Yeah.
Let me see, because I had... Okay. These are my own. Do you see the grays? Is that easier? Is that easier? Can you see a little bit better? Tell me. Now,
It
was it
looks
a
like-
1 or a 2?
It almost looks like the right side of her face where her mole is supposed to be is like numb or paralyzed just by the way that her face is doing that.
Well,
On the
the
new picture.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case. I hope it's just a different person. Thank you,
Yeah.
LSU Nancy Drew. It is Fur Coat Mama. Trying to be the princess looks like fur coat to me. She'll always have fur coat energy. You don't think it's her, JC, but thank you so much, LSU Nancy Drew. That's very kind of you. I don't think it's her. I don't think that's her. But you could see the grays, you know what I mean?
Ugh. It's a different nose too. She
It
has
is
more
a
like a
diff-
pinch
yep.
rounded tip of her nose, and it's not like that at all on the other one. Yeah, it does look like it's looking into my soul a little bit. The one on the right.
Okay, here's another. Okay. It's not the same. Oh, hold on. It's not the same face structure. So I could get past the grays if she was in recovery, and like, listen, that's the truth. You know, like at that age, you're gonna have grays, but she has an entire team who gets her together before she has her appearances. So is it crazy that, hey, after surgery and she's kind of not in hiding, but you know, recovering, that she's not touching up the grays? Yeah, maybe, but I don't see the flyaways. Like, there's damage to that hair.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say that would be a little different would just be the fact that in the picture on the left, she's professionally done up by hair and makeup too.
Yes. But where's the mole? But where's the mole?
The prednisone took it away.
And the prednisone took it away?
Yeah, when her face swelled up, it's pushed the mole out, so there's no more mole.
Well, and where, like, you could see Kate, you see her smile lines, and then she has very long, almost like dimples that turn into creases in your 40s, okay? Eventually, because they're always there will be kind of like a line there, even when she's not smiling. You will see that wrinkle there. We do not see those crevices at all on this fake Kate to the right.
I think it does look like Pippa, I'm not gonna lie.
Intentionally led to to mislead us.
Or whoever took it was just stupid and put it out as, oh my god, I saw Kate, this is what she looks like now, and then everyone ran with it.
Look at that hair, though. You could see the Is there a mole?
Nope.
None. 9. Where is it at? Where is it at? Pippa has a mole too. Does she have a mole on the exact same spot?
I don't know exactly. I just think the face shape and everything looks more like Pippa than it does her.
Oh, man. Okay. But that was picture number 1. Okay. So let's move on. Okay. Because it gets worse. Okay. It gets worse.
Particularly her chin. 6 days later, on March 10th, the royal account posted this picture.
This is the one. Okay?
This is the one where someone in chat said, woof.
Woof. Okay.
This is your girlfriend.
One. And we're going to break it down. I'll let him say what he's got to say, but we're going to take some time on this one.
6 days later, on March 10, the royal account posted this picture, and oh boy. The caption read, "Thank you for your kind wishes and continued support over the last 2 months. Wishing everyone a happy Mother's Day," and signing off with a cheerful C for Catherine. Surely that can keep everybody happy and leave questions about the princess's health answered, right? Wrong. Almost instantly, it became clear that the photo was edited, like very edited, and not very well.
A cheerful C.
Excuse me. Why is her? And we're gonna go through the specifics of this photo. They post this photo on Mother's Day.
In the
Mother's
UK.
Day.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Kate recovering. Look at the freaking kids. Look at them, so beautiful and happy. Nope. And I'm gonna let him finish saying the story. But look at that arm. Her sleeve is merged and somewhat discolored to match her undershirt. Okay? It's totally edited and fabricated.
Well, either. And the major
Her skirt. My skirt usually hugs my hips. It doesn't go straight out like a piece of paper. Does yours? I don't know.
I don't wear skirts.
Well,
I fall
if
down
you
too
did,
much.
if you
I fall
did,
over too much. It would be a disaster.
I can't imagine your skirt going straight out like that.
No. Yeah, I don't.
photo agencies who released these photos noticed that too, and just hours later issued what's called a kill notice because the source appeared to have been modified.
Okay. So literally after this was, and this, like Mallory explained to you guys, the palace and the paparazzi have a hand-in-hand relationship, okay? And after they dropped this, there was a kill report, kill shot. What's it called?
Kill order.
Kill order that is placed. You cannot distribute this photo. You cannot distribute this photo or publish this, at least anywhere within the AG and whatever other publications there were, because it's been altered too much. Okay.
Mhm.
Altered too much. A kill order, Angel. I don't know why it's called that. It sounds dramatic, but it's like kill the story, kill that. No more.
On the official publications, they're not allowed. They're no longer allowed to print that picture in the publications.
Mm-hmm. So this is, they put it out. It says Prince and Princess of Wales. And it says, thank you for your kind wishes and continued support over the last 2 months. Wishing everyone a happy Mother's Day. C. And then a photo emoji, and it says the Prince of Wales 2024. So it's not like they're even claiming, oh, it's an older photo. No. They claimed it was William who took this photo of them.
Yeah.
2024.
In this year. There's one of the TikToks that I sent you where the person goes over not only these, but the other aspect of this, where this photo potentially came from, as well as the editing to it. I'll have to figure out which one it is quick while you talk about the rest of this.
Perfect. So let's go over some of the things that don't that don't make sense in this photo. Okay. So her sleeve merges, and we saw that one. That's the one that I just pointed out. And it's clear that that's edited, okay? Because her sleeve does not just, it just merges with her undershirt, okay? Then, see, this is hard to see. I don't know. I don't do good with like that zoomed in, so I don't even really know what it's circling, but it's circling something. Then this is showing, like, I think it's trying to show, oh, this is the skirt right here. Bam, it goes straight out.
Yep.
So you could see people saying, wonder if they did this on purpose just to have a giggle at the conspiracy theorists because of how bad it was, okay?
It's like the one where they supposedly had cut off the finger of one of the boys too.
Mm-hmm. This person says, it's the jumper pattern not matching on the sleeve for me. So I'm trying to see the jumper pattern not matching on the, is
I
that
don't get
this, the
that one.
jumper pattern?
Yeah. That matches. I don't see that one.
Yeah, I don't see that one too. Oh, the double line going down this one, it's all this heart.
I think that's probably just because of how the sweater's folded on his arm.
Maybe. Or it's like sliced
Copy and pasted,
and then
yeah.
like it kind of bloop bloop. Because look, this, oh yeah, look, the line doesn't go across, the line goes to here and then it starts up here again. It's supposed to just go straight through.
Huh.
See? The line goes here and then it stops. There's 2 lines going up on this one and then it continues this way versus just a normal cross.
Interesting.
Okay. Oh, then they circle it for us.
Good. And I'll tell you guys, with us going over this, we're doing this just off of like what the internet has said about all this. Like, obviously, we wish her the best, and we hope that this is just something where she needs to take time. But like the internet, when it came to this, was just like, oh my God, how do you think they decided which of the boys needed to lose half their finger? Like, come on.
Half his finger's gone.
Is that a gang sign?
And what a peculiar way. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do it right now. I'm trying to cross my middle finger. I could not cross my middle finger over my ring like on my own without like physically putting my finger over the other one. That position he's doing. But look at that nub. It's what happened? What happened? This poor child's finger. It's just gone. But not only sorry, I can't look at it. Not only is it gone, it looks much thicker. Like the width of it, like it looks so distorted. Oh my.
And I think if this wasn't so full of of errors, I would have just said it was, just he has his one finger up. But I think when you add it into the 40 other things that are on there.
So here's another, inconsistency where there's a break, like there's, I don't know if that's the floor or what, but it's supposed to be straight. And you can see that it's clearly not. Well, he could do weird things in his past pictures, and I it's not so much the positioning of it, but the one finger being missing, we can't argue that, you know what I mean? Like, can't argue that. That's just there. Then it says these window frames are also strange. So as you can see, it looks as if like these, like they were almost painted.
They painted them on themselves.
Yeah. Like this is the palace, baby. Like they would have pristine work. And it looks like you just took a paintbrush and bloop, bloop. But also this doorknob, you shouldn't see it in the reflection. Like the way that it was taken, you really shouldn't see that. You shouldn't see that doorknob going out in the look at that reflection. You could see the doorknob going in the other way. That doesn't make any sense.
It shouldn't even be in that window at all. It would be in the one behind it. I almost wonder though, because all of the painting, I wonder if there's something in the reflection that they wanted covered and that they just did like a blurred dark in those far left 2 panels. And that's why, because the rest of them look somewhat normal. It's just those 2 on the far left, and they happen to be like the blacked out blurred ones.
That's interesting. Okay. Okay, they point out Kate's hand is blurred just on the right one though. The left one, her left hand around Charlotte is clear, but this one, it's blurred. Her hair is blurred. It's not, you can't see the definition or anything. You could tell it's blurred. Charlotte's hair just comes to a complete stop. Look at that. Where's the rest of it? Her hair isn't cut like that. It's just randomly stopping. Then, where's Kate's ring? As you can see, this hand isn't blurry as opposed to that hand. But where's her ring?
KPM made a good point. She wouldn't be wearing tight jeans like that if she's still recovering from a very serious abdominal surgery.
That is a great point. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, their Mother's Day was March 10th.
So this is the kill notification that went out with AP. And it says, clients, please be advised that the following story has been killed and should no longer be used. Story title, UK Royals Princess. Story number 4482422. Date of original transmission, March 10th, 2024. The reason for killing the story. At closer inspection, it appears that the source has manipulated the image. No replacement photo will be sent. Please remove it from all platforms, including social, where it may still be visible. You are receiving this email because the Associated Press is now serving a notice of video kills to customers via an operational email. This change will ensure all needed parties are aware of any relevant issues with AP video content. So that's the kill. And then it says, no comment from Kensington Palace tonight after at least 3 international picture agencies refused to distribute this morning's photo of Kate and her children. Some of them at AP have claimed the source, the palace, has manipulated the image. That's a big deal. Okay?
I resent you the other video too.
Perfect. Okay. And then people also said the foliage outside is from fall time, not January. It didn't make sense. Okay.
Yeah. I'll also say too that there have been a handful of people who are, I don't know if they're professionals at photography or something, but they've stated that the face, Kate's face in this photo, is almost an identical, like an exact replica of a photo shoot that she had done for a magazine. So like they had overlaid the photo and it was, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it was too exact that they said it would be very difficult for someone to be able to get every inch of their face the exact same as this other photograph.
It's just weird. It's just weird. And then they notice how you only see one of the boy's legs standing behind her. Now, granted, can his other leg be lifted up? Sure. His other leg could be lifted up. But there's just a lot of inconsistencies. So much so that 3 international major distributors said no go, not doing it. And then I think this is, and now from AFP, which is another distributor, it says mandatory kill.
Associated Foreign Press.
Thank you. Associated Foreign Press. Mandatory kill due to an editorial issue. This photo, the Britain Royals by Prince of Wales, has been withdrawn from AFP systems and may no longer be used in any manner. Please immediately remove it from all of your online services. Stop using. That's crazy. Okay. And it says mandatory kill notice from at AFP, a huge international picture agency, which says there is an editorial issue with Kensington Palace's photo and has told clients to remove it. I suspect more people will see it as a result. That it's it looks so dramatic though, right? Like with a big kill order, you know, like with the X through it, like geez.
Yeah. Okay, that's the same one. Yep.
And this then was, you know, the new Princess Kate image retracted by photo agencies. The Associated Press, AFP, and Reuters pulled a photo she has posted to Instagram of her with her 3 children over concerns the source had manipulated the image. It says conspiracy theories about Princess Kate's whereabouts have been given a new fuel after several major photo agencies pulled an image of the Princess of Wales that she shared on her Instagram Sunday over concerns the source had manipulated the image. Associated Press, AFP, and Reuters retracted the image shortly after the family photo showing Kate seated on a chair and surrounded by her children, Prince George 10, Princess Charlotte 8, and Prince Louis 5, was published. It has come to light that the handout issued by Kensington Palace today of Kate and the kids have been altered. Therefore, it was withdrawn from AFP systems, the agency said in a notice. USA Today removed an Instagram post that included the photo Sunday. So this is a big deal, okay? But then, and then I'm going to play the TikTok you sent me.
Okay.
But then on the Prince and Princess of Wales Instagram, it is posted. Like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing. I wanted to express my apologies for any confusion the family photograph we shared yesterday caused. I hope everyone celebrating had a very happy Mother's Day. C. Does she always end it with C?
I was actually just going to ask the chat because this was something that I had a question about, just because I don't necessarily keep up with the everydays of everything. So from what I've been able to tell is that when it's Princess Catherine, it's Catherine with a C. When she does Kate, it's Kate with a K.
Okay.
But because I'm not aware of how she would normally sign her name, I was wondering if anyone in the chat did happen to know, like, does she usually sign with a C or a K? And if she does, is that normal? Just because I don't know.
I don't know either. Thank you, Chowder. That photo is probably more fake than my internet girlfriend. Thank you. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, Kate and Catherine, it's the same person, Twizzle Stick.
Okay, someone said C is normal, I believe. Okay. And see, that was something that I was like, isn't her name spelled with a K? But then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, wait. So that was something that was normal, was that she spells Catherine with a C, but Kate with a K. And I've never actually seen her sign anything like that, so I wasn't sure which one it was.
I don't like,
Okay.
I mean, granted, play devil's advocate, maybe it really was Kate, but if it comes out, not that we will ever know the truth, but like, if it wasn't her and it was just the royals and they're blaming her, that pisses me off even more.
Well, and yeah, but she's technically, didn't she say that William took the photo anyways?
That's what I'm saying. So William took the photo, Catherine edited
But
it.
she's an amateur photographer, so she's editing it.
Yeah. Well, that would be an amateur editor, not photographer.
C is the king's nickname for her. Oh, that's interesting.
What am I looking? Yeah, that there again, that skirt, man. Boop. Boop. It's just weird. But okay, here, let me get this.
So the video that Melissa's pulling up is a TikTok that I'd seen earlier today, because I'd seen a lot of times of like, oh, that picture is not is not from 2024 necessarily. And I think this TikTok here does a very, very good job at kind of explaining it, but also going through each thing individually that makes you go like, huh, interesting.
But why would media remove it if she wanted that photo out and said, yes, I edited it?
Yeah.
Great question.
I've heard potentially just because it was AI. It wasn't like they were able to detect something potentially that was more than just an amateur editor, that it was like not real in general. But that was just a rumor, so I don't know.
Well, and because that could be legal issues for them, because if there is AI and this has been manipulated to that point that they can't confirm that that's actually the person, they are in the position where they could be sued at a later time for publishing that. Doesn't matter where the source is.
Yeah.
You're still held liable.
Yep.
Even further into this photo, and check this out. You may have heard this theory that Kate's face in this photo is actually a direct ripoff off of a Vogue magazine.
Oh, snap. Now,
You
okay.
haven't seen that?
No. Now, listen. Yes, it's her face, and we're going to get into this with the third photo because this is the same argument people are going to make. Yes, it's her face, and yes, when you smile, it's going to be, yeah, it's her. It's her smiling. Of course, it's going to look the same. Nah, but you can't get identical. It doesn't matter. You know, like you could never kind of like take the same photo twice. It's always going to be slightly different. Like even the littlest facial expression will make like your eyebrow go up a little bit or your, you know, frown line, something will shift. So when it's too identical, that's fishy. Wolfie saw
Did you,
this one.
Wolfie? This was a good one.
Cover from 2016. 2016 was 8 years ago. And if you were to look at a picture of your face 8 years ago, it's likely different. 8 years.
Oh, snap. So it was 8 years ago? All right. 8 years ago. That's a long time. And as much as I'd like to say I haven't changed much since 8 years ago, the lie detector would determine that was a lie because we all do.
Yeah.
It looks like they ran it through like a sophisticated AI system, but even as sophisticated as it is, it's always not going to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Let alone she was able to take a photo where all of her facial features are almost in the exact same position. Anyways, you don't like that one? Fine. Let's look at some more. In this photo, we've got them in these 4 outfits. Huh. Interesting. Because on a recent trip to a donation center, these 4 all had on the exact same outfit layout.
Whoops.
Again, just a theory for you to think about. Okay, follow me here. Forget color and pattern, because to manipulate those is pretty base level editing skills. It's something that a lot of us can learn in under 3 hours. So, on this trip to this donation bank, we have Kate wearing this white cashmere sweater, blue skinny jeans.
So they're saying, when you're looking at the photo, don't pay attention to the color of the shirt, the color of the sweater. Just pay attention to the outfit itself because it's very easy to manipulate color. So if you're wearing a white blouse and then in the photo black, that's very simple to manipulate in an editing program. So just pay attention.
He actually does an example at the end of this too. He does an example of where he takes a picture of himself wearing a certain sweater and he changes the colors in Photoshop. Like he shows you how easy it is at the end of this.
So they're manipulating it. And Nora's grandma, I think what they're saying is not a literal copy and paste. What they'll do is they'll take her face as a template. And so like the base structure, everything's going to be the same. And then they put it through and they do little touch-ups, you know, but that's why it is spot on exactly the same. But they were at this event, this Christmas event, they said, right?
Yeah, they were at like a donation thing where they brought donations somewhere. But this was in November of 2023. Now, I'll say, what are the odds that they're seen in these outfits before is not necessarily suspicious, but the fact that they're all 4 wearing the same outfits in different colors which we'll see as this goes on the same day as in the photo where they specifically said that other photo was taken in 2024, is very interesting.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. That is suspect. You're already screaming Photoshop everywhere, but now they happen to find an event from November of the year prior, and it's the identical. Every single one of them are in identical outfits, just the color is different.
Yep.
I don't like it.
And these boots. In this photo, we've got Kate wearing a dark blue cashmere sweater, skinny jeans, and those exact same boots. Here we've got Charlotte in a long red sleeve shirt, wearing a skirt with black leggings underneath, and these boots. Now in this photo, we've got the red long sleeve shirt, a skirt, black leggings, and the same boots. Next, let's look at George. He's wearing a sweater with a plaid shirt underneath with the collar popping out, and these runners. In this photo, we've got George wearing a blue sweater with a plaid shirt underneath, and these runners. Lastly, we got Louis. We've got him in a wool sweater with a pattern on it and a plaid collar as well. And in this photo, we've got Louis with a wool sweater with a pattern and a plaid collar.
I don't like it so far. I don't like it so far. Now, us non-royals, yeah, you're going to see kids wearing the same shoes, but changing of the outfits. You know, like I'm not saying, none of them could be wearing, but especially when you're doing an actual photo shoot, okay? This is suspect, and I'm sorry, when it goes back to the older sons, I will be honest, the shirt that's popping out of the collar, the blue on blue shirt never made sense to me anyway, so it didn't seem natural, because who would wear like a blue plaid undercollar shirt with the blue sweater? It didn't really match to begin with, so this is weird.
Take that for what it is, because I get it. The shirts aren't the exact same. But if you zoom out, these are the exact same outfits, just a different color, which is very easy to do on Photoshop, or a different pattern. For example, here I am today wearing this sweater right now. Pop this in Photoshop and boom. Guys, it's not hard to do that. It's hard to deny this one, to wear the exact same outfits down to the shoes. We're talking about a royal family here that have stylists, they have teams, they've got everything, but they're wearing the same outfits. Okay, anyway, these aren't facts, these are theories.
On the same
On the
day.
opposite side of things, this photo was taken hours after.
Oh,
We'll pause that there, because we didn't get into this third photo yet, but we're about to be there. We're about to be there, ladies and gentlemen. So let me go back to our timeline video real quick. All right. So this photo comes out. There's a kill shot that gets put on it. Follow, come along.
Notice, because the source appeared to have been modified. The royal PR team went into overdrive, and then this tweet was posted by the social media account attributed to Kate. In a statement, Kate allegedly says, "Like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing. I wanted to express my apologies for any confusion that the family photograph we shared yesterday caused. I hope everyone celebrating had a very happy Mother's Day. C. For Catherine." What a mess. The internet went into overdrive after that announcement. Theories went viral, like this one, which made a rather striking case that the photo was actually taken in November of 2023.
And if you know anything about Kate Middleton, you know that people obsessively track her fashion. So of course I was able to find a bunch of blogs breaking down exactly what she was wearing. Now, yeah, I know that the sweater in her picture was black, but stick with me because it's photoshopped. I think they changed around the clothes on the photo, but look at these boots and look at the pants. This is the exact sweater. It's from a company called Rice, I believe. And look at that neckline and look at this part right here. I've upped the exposure quite a lot so that you can see the ribbing better, but look how it lands on her thigh area, the thickness of that belt of the ribbing, and then look at the turtleneck. Yes, I know a lot of turtlenecks look the same, but I do believe that this was photoshopped to be darker and it was just that cream sweater because they don't make it in another color. They make it in cream and in camel.
They don't make it in another color. They don't make. Now, again, do they maybe have that royal specialty? I'm going to get you a color that isn't available. Maybe, but they don't even have that color. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. That's weird.
Now let's look at the boots that she's wearing in this new photo. It's the same exact boots as this baby bank visit that she did with her kids.
And some claim that the image is actually a reworking of her Vogue magazine cover from 2016. And that brings us to March 11.
Here we go. picture number 3, okay? March 11th, because that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough, right? So they capture this photo of
3
Kate
days ago.
and William, March 11th.
Yep. 3 days ago.
3 days ago.
And this vague paparazzi image, which shows William in a car seated next to someone who may or may not be his wife, Kate. Now, Kensington Palace is standing by their claim that Kate will return to public duties after Easter. Whether or not that happens is yet to be seen.
Oh, okay. They didn't go into more. Okay, so let me stop it right there. Okay, and let me flip back to what Mallory's video was showing us.
I will say one thing about this picture in particular is that the aspect of the brick wall was kind of debunked.
Was it?
Yes. So there's been a lot of people who have gone on and showed the exact location of where that photo was taken. And there's like a brick wall that is just like above car height. And then right behind that is a home that is also brick. So at the angle of the non-cropped version, you see the wall through her window, but on the bigger version, you're seeing the wall in her window and the home at the top.
Got it. Okay, good to know.
Yes.
Same outfits. Okay, anyway, these aren't facts, these are theories. On the opposite side of things, this photo was taken hours after Kate issued this apology. And of course, it's not a photo of her face. But if you find another photo from the same angle, you could see that Kate's cheek has this little raised portion here, likely making this Kate. Look, guys, the whole thing is weird. Why are they being weird about it?
Okay, so let's look into that photo a little bit more real quickly. Let me pause there. Because that photo and you'll be able to see the brick that Mallory was referring to.
Yeah.
This is that photo 3 days ago. As you can see, the brick in the window, because when it was released, when it was released like this. So that's all you could see. So when people saw the full photo, which was this, people were like, whoa, 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 wait. You know, that brick does not match. The tonsil twins. Okay, so the tonsil twins, though. I know 2 different insane twin stories, but tonsil twins. I don't think it's any of that. So okay, hold on, because I gotta show you. There was the video that did
the overlay.
Yes, and I screen recorded it. Not this. It was
so based on this and based on like the actual Google Maps of this specific area, there's like, it's almost like a rock wall almost, but it's obviously just brick. Like it looks like the type of brick wall where like if you're up against water or something and it's there to block water, like that type of wall where it's not super tall, but it's tall enough. And that was right, like what is being shown through that window. And it's not quite as tall as like the car. So that's why we don't see the top of it. But then you see right behind it, there's a darker home that is also brick.
So they found this photo. Do you remember what year this photo was from of Kate?
Not off the top of my head.
They found this photo of Kate at an event, okay? And so they zoomed in and they took allegedly Kate 3 days ago in this car, and they found this photo of Kate from the same positioning. And guys, they're about to overlay it, because when you see how perfectly this lines up, okay? No way. There's no way. It appears like they either edited out the big earring or they just put like a new ear over it. But you cannot tell me down to like the hat, you could see the hat, that this is not like they pulled that piece of her photo and pasted it into it. Look at this. Look at this.
And you can almost see like the bow.
That's what I'm saying. The hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
People start realizing that this is the same picture that she took at this time. But you might still think, well, you know, it's the back of her head. She probably has the same kind of angle, so it looks similar, right? I mean, I thought so too, but other things in this picture don't align. But let me show you the biggest piece of evidence.
Look at that. Look at that.
I need to know that I am not the only one going down the rabbit hole. And then people start.
No way. There's no. Did you see that? Okay. Again, let me go back for you.
And I also think the reason this could potentially be so believable to like the public is because we know how close the media is with the royal family.
Not the only one.
So I think that's why it's so much like Heather. They keep calling William Billy in chat.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take that off. Done. Save videos, new clip. Paste this. Bam.
See, and I think the crazy part of this too is that we have not even got into the internet's theories on what has happened. And once again, like what we said at the beginning, just because we're telling you guys all this, I mean, obviously there's aspects of this that we believe, but just because we're repeating something that the internet's saying doesn't necessarily mean we 100% give into that theory. So just throwing that out there ahead of time, that just because we talk about it doesn't necessarily mean that we are 100% behind it.
Exactly. And I say that every time I do a conspiracy live.
Yep.
Just because I'm discussing it does not necessarily mean I believe it, but it's out there. People do believe it. It's a topic. It's a conspiracy. We're going to discuss it, and it's interesting either way. But can you guys, I have to scroll up in comments because I wasn't looking. Can you guys believe that? That is that photo. You cannot tell me that is not this. There's no way. They took that big ass pearl out, but you could see it down to the hat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Corky, I think that's a potential. That's one of the theories that is out there. As well as that, plus having a colostomy bag as well.
I'm going to let you go ahead with the theories as far as what is going on, what the talk is, because you're much more familiar than me. So you tell me what you want me to pull up. Go for it.
Well, I think it depends on, do you start at the ones that are most possible?
Of course. We'll work our way up to the bizarre, down the rabbit hole, Alice in Wonderland, follow the white rabbit. We'll do it that way.
I'll say the farthest one I've heard is that she's on this season of The Masked Singer, and that's why she's not being seen.
Wait, what? Say that again?
That she's on the newest season of The Masked Singer.
The Masked Singer? I don't know what that is.
What?
No.
It's where celebrities go on the show and they dress up in costumes and they sing, and then there's a group of judges that are guessing what celebrity it is.
Oh, I don't have cable, so I don't know.
Well, I've just heard that. I've also heard.
Does she sing?
And I'm saying this is not in a disrespectful way if something bad has happened, but I'm saying this is what the internet's saying. I've heard she got a BBL. I've heard.
Oh, butt lift. Thank you, Ozzy Tribe, for being a member for 2 years. Hi, beautiful Melissa J and beautiful Mallory. Hello.
I've heard. Let me see what else.
Never ever would the palace allow that. They wouldn't even allow Princess Diana to dance. Remember?
Yeah. I've also heard that she's waiting for Taylor Swift to announce Reputation before she comes out. She's holding out.
Wait,
I'm
what?
telling you, the internet is crazy.
She's waiting for Taylor Swift to what?
To announce Reputation Taylor's version.
What's that?
Oh gosh. If you're a Swiftie or anything, just you'll know what I mean.
Is it a song? Like a record?
No, so so Taylor had potentially sold all of her music, to someone else, so she lost all the rights to it. So she's going through re-recording all of her songs so that she can own her own songs again.
Oh,
so to be able to do that, she's already released a number of her albums, but everyone's waiting for her Reputation, Taylor's version album to come out. And there's been a handful of times that people have thought that she was going to announce it and she never did. And it's a huge thing across the world, but either way.
What would that have to do with Kate?
Well, I think it's just because it's across the whole world, and I think Taylor's going to the UK next for her tour. So,
this is
Taylor's
Kate
version. Yeah. People were saying that she was going to come out in the music video for something else.
Yo, do you think the Royals would allow that shit?
I think the whole point of it, though, is that she was going rogue. They were like, she just loves
funny.
Taylor so much that she's going rogue. I'm telling you, this is what the internet is saying, not me.
The freaking internet, man. Okay,
well,
carry on. We have the Swift and we have the Masked Singer theory. Okay.
And the BBL.
Mm-hmm.
I have also heard the theories of the potential of it just being some type of plastic surgery, and there were a lot of
complications.
Well, no, not even that, but like it was a lot of surgeons and stuff on TikTok once again, because when something hits the algorithm, people are, you're welcome, Pepper. It's only the reliable things, of course. But a lot of like plastic surgeons have been like, oh, well, the time frame she's given is also as long as you need to do this or that or different things like that. But
wow.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you, Magsy. You made me laugh in your commentary in the middle of the night with the phone calls. It was quite embarrassing. TMI, if I say any more, you cracked me up. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you and very much appreciated. I'm getting a kick out of these theories, Mallory, because I didn't know that. I saw the general ones.
I told you I've been at about a good week now that I have been in the deep in this TikTok wormhole. So
please carry on. Please.
Okay, so now I'm going to get more into the more somewhat believable ones that kind of bring in a few more of the facts of this.
Okay.
So, okay, where should I start?
Anywhere. This is very entertaining.
So I guess we'll start with the fact that if she really did have some type of surgery, that something went wrong. And potentially it's obviously just taking time to get through. And they don't obviously just want to say that, but then at the same time, I think if they just said that, it would shut everyone up.
You're right.
But also, if it is something very, very personal, I know someone had stated something about a hysterectomy. That was out there as well, that she had to have some type of emergency hysterectomy, which is a huge deal.
Yes.
Also, if there was some type of miscarriage or something like that, and she had to have a DNC, and then something went wrong, that also brings in the aspect of the Spanish reporter.
With the induced coma?
With the induced coma, yes.
Okay.
And also why no one potentially was visiting her at this hospital, because if she's unconscious, I mean, I would still sit there because supposedly they say you can hear people when they're in a coma, but still, regardless, that's your own thoughts.
Well, and that's what I said earlier. I'm like, you know what? I could make a rationalization in my mind of why kids may not come and visit, depending, I don't know what her condition was. And let's say if it was like a coma, you wouldn't want your children to see their mom like that. That's scary. That could be traumatizing. But her parents, her siblings, nobody on her side, that's
weird.
Peculiar. Yeah, it's weird.
Especially if it is something where they did have to put her into some type of induced coma. At that point, you're worried for your loved one and you're gonna want to be there, especially if you're their parent and you like they're always there with her. So there is something to that. But like, cannot think of a planned abdominal surgery having such a long recovery. Well, right. There's her mom and her sister, and they're all very, very close, which is interesting. I can see the kids, like you said. Oh gosh, not again.
I'm just doing a visual for people as you go on.
Right, and hippie chick like that too. Her kids have not been seen either.
That's why I think more of a turmoil, internally.
Yeah. So Molegate, exactly. The fifth wheel. So those are not things that I think are necessarily out of the realm of possibility at all. But I also think that's a way where everything that the palace is putting out is accurate to a certain extent without it being the entire story.
Right.
But I think they just keep adding on and it's making it more and more less likely that this is like, ugh. And okay, I'm trying to think of what else. Also, people have also said that there's the potential that, which I think someone else in chat said that they had this, was Crohn's disease. And she had to have a resection of some of her intestines, or they cut some out. And now she has a colostomy bag, which not only is a huge surgery, but it's also a physical change that would be difficult for someone to personally handle, but then also like put that to the world.
Absolutely. Like that's something I could see if indeed she did have a surgery and there was a complication. Now, colostomy bags could be temporary. They do not have to be permanent. I think there's 3 different types of colostomy bags. And so, but even if it's it's not just about, oh, can you wear an outfit that it wouldn't be seen? No, the mental, imagine what that would be like mentally and emotionally too. So taking time to potentially recover from a complication like that, that's fair. That would make sense. And I could see 9 months why, like that would make more sense than just recovering, period.
Yeah. So at that point, if that was the case, I think I wouldn't even have to know that. I think it would be more of just like have the palace come out and be like, hey, there was some medical complication. She's fine, but she just needs a few months to kind of get used to everything new, leave her alone, blah, blah, blah. And I think the people would listen because she's the liked one out of this family. Karen Canada, how long were you like in the hospital?
Let me see.
I'm just curious.
Trying to find the comment.
No, you're good. She said she had a hysterectomy and it was a huge deal, but I was up and moving slowly, but moving. I'm just curious, especially to a day surgery. See, why would they, before her surgery even happened, say she was going to be there for 14 days?
Right.
That's why I would think it would, like, I don't know.
Well, and don't forget on the 28th, the ambulance and all of those unmarked cars or whatever cars they were going down from where they were staying for Christmas, and they never made a comment on it. I think that does tie in that there something was going on there.
Yeah. Well, and that aspect of this too has been brought into a handful of them. Oh wow. That's why I would say that if they're saying it's an abdominal surgery and that it was going to take that long, that's why I wonder if it was some type of resection and then something either went wrong or something like that, and she does have something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I feel like the people would respect it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Again, they're human. They're not superheroes or anything like that. So And
And
that might be, and that ties into some of the other theories too of why
Yep.
she may have just gone MIA, and that would be totally rational.
Yeah. And like even with the fact that if it is something like the resection in the colostomy bag, like I'm not even saying that for me to accept it, I would need to hear it all. Like, yeah, I saw some of those comments. But like I still think that there's a better way for the palace to handle it without giving out her personal information that doesn't put the internet up in fire like it has.
Right.
I'm trying to think of all the other theories. And then I'll get to obviously the big one.
Mhm.
I might as well just get to the big one then. If I remember any, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the big one, the big theory that a lot of people have been clinging on to. Well, I guess there's different aspects of this theory. So the biggest theory is that obviously there's trouble in paradise. So that there's some type of divorce, infidelity, something like that going on within Kate and William's marriage. That is correct. Truth exposed, I agree. But unfortunately, when you're the royal family, you're kind of thrust into that spotlight. But either way, so something's going on. I know in the months leading up to this, not leading up to this, but like right this second. So the time that she was last seen to these photos to recently, just within the last few days of William's different places that he's been seen, neither of them are wearing their wedding rings, which could potentially be normal. I've heard a lot of different people say like they're on and off. Sometimes they wear them, sometimes they don't. So I do think that there is a option there, but it is a something that people have noticed. Well, right. But then we introduce you to a new character in the story, which is Lady Rose.
Lady Rose.
I can't use the other name that I use for her on the internet. I'm sure she's a very nice lady. But Lady Rose Hanbury, that's her name, right?
I believe so.
She was a friend of the royals, more particularly a friend to Kate. And yep, we'll get there. I'll get there, Mittens. Thank you, though. That reminded me of him. Was a friend of Kate's, was a friend of the royals. And supposedly since 2018, 2019, was supposedly having some type of alleged affair with William. That was a little meaner than that. But had supposedly since 2018 been having this affair with William. I've also heard a lot of other things that I'm not even going to bring up, but it was more of like Kate somewhat knew about it, but was okay with it as long as, no emotions got into it, and eventually emotions got into it, and he had said that it was over. Like Kate was like, you need to end this, and apparently he just can't get rid of this mistress, Lady Rose. So then it brings us into our timeline of the potential of what is being said around town, and when I say town, I mean on the internet streets, is that Lady Rose is currently impregnated with William's baby and has decided not to get rid of it. That she is going to keep it.
9 months.
She's gonna keep it.
Oh my god.
And not necessarily, I've just heard different things like that he was potentially into things and she wasn't into, and that she was like, you can go do that as long as you don't get into an emotional affair. But that was just a rumor.
Some people within their marriages have agreements. It's actually not that uncommon. So I don't think any of us should be quick to like, hey, no way would she be okay with it. You never know, honestly.
Yeah. So either way, he had this relationship with Rose, and I didn't say it.
Mal didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
You just said you said that. Chat said that, not panel. Oh Jesus.
I may have just messaged that to Melissa behind the scenes.
Oh my god.
But I didn't say it out loud. But either way, so
oh my god, you did.
I know I did.
Oh my god, you did. Oh really? Okay, that's the talk. All right, I see. Oh,
and like I said, this is all alleged. This is all just based on everything else. But no pun intended. It was he got her pregnant, and it was around that December 28th that he ended up letting Kate know, saying like, hey, unfortunately I didn't end it, and she's pregnant and she's keeping the baby, and that somehow this obviously put Kate into a tailspin. And now from this part of it, there is I know that. I'm aware of how that all works. Caffeinated slug.
Was it really? Was it really under review?
Oh man.
No, he did not. You guys are killing me. Oh my gosh.
So this theory splits in two. So the first theory is that this obviously sends her into some type of unstable mental state, and that she was then admitted to some type of hospital to help her get through this point, and she's kind of just been in this unstable mental state since the 28th, which is why she was rushed there. Different things.
Which would be really sad. That would be really, really sad
absolutely.
if that is the case.
And that's this chat.
Yeah, I know.
But
oh my
god. The other half of that is that it was the final straw for Kate. And that she kind of at that point was like, I'm done. I'm not going to listen to you guys anymore. She took the kids, she took her parents, and she left. And she's just hiding out somewhere. Not cooperating with the royal family.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have said that even if that's the case, it may not be the fact that she's going to leave long term, but it could just be like, this is her way of putting her foot down and being like, we're not coming back to help you get through the situation without you kicking Rose to the curb. Like, you're either going to be dealing with this media shitstorm and everything like that, and we're not going to come back if you want to keep her, and everything like that. But also, she wants to be queen. So a lot of people are saying she's not actually going to leave. I've heard that too, Kaleidohope.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Kaleidohope said it's also alleged that Rose's daughter Iris is Williams also. But can you imagine the amount of pressure Kate is under? And honestly, when Meghan came around, if I were Kate, I would be a bit pissed off. I would be a bit pissed off because she had done her duties. Whether you like their rules or not, she knew what she was getting into. She knew. Yeah. And she agreed to it. And so she followed the rules to a T, even the most ridiculous ones. And she did what she was supposed to do, and then Meghan came around and she tried to emulate Princess Diana, but she couldn't, because in my opinion, you can't. Okay, Princess Diana was one of a kind, and it was natural, and for so many different reasons. But my entire point is, can you imagine the immense amount of pressure of having the entire world spotlight on you, and you have not just the own pressure of needing to feel perfect, but literally an entire team making sure every single moment you are perfect. You can't have a bad day, or when you're having a bad day, you can't show that you're having a bad day. You need to have photos like this. And within every marriage is issues. And so I don't know if necessarily I even jump to, is she pregnant? But there could be just issues, period. Issue, like, just who knows? Because a massive issue can start with a very small thing. And it could have just snowballed into something bigger that she had to leave the situation. And that is what makes sense, as far as, if you remember back going to the beginning of the timeline, you never see her family visit. You never see her parents, her siblings, no alleged reports, her children. Okay. We've only seen, William and that side. And that would make sense if Kate took the kids out of that situation and is currently staying with family. And that would also make sense with not cooperating. No, I'm not going to go back and take a photo and pretend everything is all right. I'm not, like, she's not in that mental state right now. And so they have to go to the levels of producing it like this. And that makes the most sense to me. And like I said, I'm not even jumping to, oh, is there a baby? Even though 9 months, that's pretty interesting timeline. Abdominal surgery, the whole thing. It's interesting, but it could be something not even like that, just versus turmoil within the marriage, and then the weight of the world to be perfect and not show any cracks or any shatters in this relationship. So you're going to remove yourself out of the situation, and you're going to take time, because I can't imagine the mental toll, the emotional toll that takes on a person.
Well, and then add in the fact that they are very, very, very close to the throne.
Yes.
So you're going to also add in that
Very
not only
close.
that, but you pretty much have to act like you are king and queen at this point.
Yes.
Just because of how close to the throne they are. No offense to Charles, but then
yeah, he didn't even have a chance to be up yet, honestly.
Yeah.
And no, William hasn't said anything about Kate.
He said one thing.
She's well.
Yes. Yep. Other than at the very end of something, he said, and Kate is recovering well.
Yeah,
and that was
she's
it.
doing well. But then you have to remember, he canceled and didn't appear for his godfather's funeral.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's weird. And so, like Mallory said, people have speculated he's had this affair. And this is based on rumors that already existed, and that she's pregnant and she's not getting rid of the baby. And can you, again, pure speculation here. But could you imagine what that would do to Kate, who has done everything, everything.
Yeah.
And even if there was some type of agreement of have your fun, do your thing, but I don't want to see, I don't want to hear, and it never affect our life. And then something like that, all right, now are you kidding me? You're going to rock our world, and I'm going to have to pick up the pieces. I've done everything. I followed the rules. We're this close up to actually becoming king and queen. And this happens, that would send me into a tailspin. It really would.
Well, and not only would you be pissed then, but then at that point, you'd still be hurt. I mean, you've done everything up to this point. You have 3 kids together. You're going to be king and queen. I don't know. But it also makes sense as to why the only 2 that have been spotted in this are the 2 trying to keep up their appearances, which is Charles and William. And potentially Harry, but only for about 15 minutes. Royal Scandal 7. Yeah. Well, and I think too, something that is also potentially added to the suspicion of everything is that there have been potentially 2 statements, I should say. There's one interview that was done with Kate's uncle, who goes on to state something along the lines of, yes, I've talked to my sister Kate's mother, and if it comes out, I will give a statement on it. But I'm not going to tell you what's going on, was kind of what he had said. But he specifically said, if it comes out, I will give you my opinion, was what he said.
Yep, like there's something to come out. There's
Correct.
something to come out.
Yes. And that was one thing where people were like, well, what do you mean if this comes out? What do you know? What's something that's so potentially detrimental that it's not going to come out? Which I'm under the impression of, like I've said from the very beginning, I don't care. I just want to know at this point that she's alive and okay.
Right. The rest is none of our business, honestly.
Right. It's just speculation at this point. And unfortunately, the way that the internet works is just like a shit show. So, like, yeah, I don't know. So there's that one.
Oh,
and
wait,
then,
hold on, though. Hold on. I'll
Oh.
let people see it. I'll let people hear. This
Oh,
is
perfect.
Kate's uncle. And he gives an update on her health and well-being. But just like Mallory explained, listen to what he said, because it is clear and evident that there is something that isn't being said. But unless that comes out, I'm not going to disclose it because family comes first. But if it comes out, I will share my opinion on it. And that was what stood out to me, because that comes across to me as a man who has something to say about another man, but he's going to keep his opinion to himself because it's not his place to say, to speak on it and put it out. That's how I took it. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are.
Where's Kate?
So because she doesn't want to talk about it,
We can't talk about it.
the last thing I'm going to do is there's the kind of code of etiquette. If it's announced, I'll give you an opinion.
I hope she's okay.
But I think the most important thing, well, I know I spoke to her mum, my sister. She's getting the best care in the world, and all the family's done is put the wagons around and look after family first before anything else. I do think they put a statement out and just said, "We just take some time to recoup, and we'll see you in Easter."
I've heard mixed things about Kate, and I don't want to make a comment, but whatever it is, you want her to come back, or is one word in?
Yeah. She's amazing. She'll be back. Of course.
So you see what I mean? Like, there's something.
Yeah.
Or I could take it another way of she's getting another type of, she's recovering in another type of way, and not maybe so much physical, but more of, emotional or mental. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And it is one way, but then you also have to state, because I think someone said it in chat. Hang on, let me scroll up. Was it under review? Yeah, had said the uncle was on Celebrity Big Brother and the housemates were asking him about it. Well, then you have to somewhat take into account the fact that this person may be an uncle, but how much of it is sensationalized? You know what I mean?
That's true. That's a great point.
Which I didn't know that till she just commented that, because to me, I was like, oh, her uncle said this. But if you're going on Celebrity Big Brother only because you are the uncle of Kate Middleton, then I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And yes, Karen Canada, I'll play it again for you. So hold on.
Yeah.
So because she doesn't want to talk about it,
we can't talk about it.
The last thing I'm going to do is there's the kind of code of etiquette. If it's announced, I'll give you an opinion.
I hope she's okay.
But I think the most important thing, well, I know I spoke to her mum, my sister. She's getting the best care in the world, and all the family's done is put the wagons around and look after family first before anything else. But I do think they put a statement out and just said, we just take some time to recoup and we'll see you in Easter.
I've heard mixed things about Kate, and I don't want to make a comment, but whatever it is, you want her to come back, or is one work in?
Yeah. But she's amazing. She'll be back. Of course she will.
Another part of this that I find very interesting is she keeps saying, I hope she's okay. I hope she's okay.
And he's
But
not reassuring her.
He never says she's okay.
Yep. Shakto's desperately trying to figure out who that girl is because she's so hot, probably. I don't know. From Big Brother. That was from Big Brother, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He's like, who's the girl? Damn it.
The other thing that I find interesting is that he states, like, I talked to her mom and her mom says all of this. So that tells me that her mom is with her. So wherever she is, the mom is with her and is probably just not coming and going for 15-minute intervals like everyone else.
Right.
Okay, what was the other one? There was one other one. Oh, Piers Morgan. Did you see this clip?
No. Shay was telling me about that, but I didn't watch the Piers Morgan one.
So Piers Morgan brought this up today, which apparently I don't exactly know. She's receiving excellent care, right? I don't exactly know. I've heard he obviously has ties to the royals. I've heard his close ties are with Camilla. So on and so forth, that he definitely has had agendas on the different things that are going on and has definitely pushed agendas for Piers Morgan. Well, he made a comment on this on his show. Was it today or yesterday? Hang on. I'm going to go look. I sent a clip of it because there is a long one where he talks about it, but he literally says, like, on his show, he goes, I've been hearing a lot about it. And if only half of the things that I've been hearing are true, it's bad or something along those lines. And
really?
He's known for being very like an inside source for the royals. Let me see if I can figure out exactly which one it is.
Shay, I do love a British accent. Oh my gosh. Oh, really?
What?
No, I'm surprised because I was watching all the short. That's what Shay was explaining to me because she goes for, I need a long length video. Like I want something to break it down. I go for like the shorter stuff. And so I didn't watch the Pierce thing because I think it was like a longer segment. So that's really interesting. I didn't realize he said that.
Okay, I think this one, the one that I just resent you, is the one where it has Piers Morgan's little clip in it.
Okay. Why is that woman from Love Island doing the interview?
Hey, when you get to one reality TV show, you got to go to the next one. And I've heard he is just the fun uncle. Likes to be referred to as fun.
I don't know what I've heard of Big Brother. I don't know what it is though. Like what the point is.
It's just like a bunch of people locked in a house, I think. I don't know. I've never watched it. I know that that one guy was on it and won.
Dangerous. Okay.
Derek Levasseur. Do you like him? I love him.
I don't know who that is.
He does the Crime Weekly with Stephanie Harlow.
Oh.
He won Big Brother. Big Brother. Oh, my bad, Heather. Well, I don't know. Not hearing any rumors.
Okay, it says Piers Morgan says William hiding awful truth about Kate, admits Will protecting Rose from.
So this is part one, but I think the clip that I wanted to show you
is within it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Guys, come in, sit down and shut the door. The dam has broken. It sounds like we're going to hear exactly what is going on with Kate Middleton by my estimate by the end of this week or probably by Monday. You guys, Piers Morgan, who we all know has been rumored to be Camilla's mouthpiece, right? He has just let out the fact that something very, very bad has happened to Kate. And he said the stuff that he's been told, if even half of it is true, the stuff that he has told is very, very alarming. And you know Camilla's told him everything. You guys, if you have not been keeping up with what is going on with Kate.
Let me pause that real quick. Did Pierce specifically say
And I
happened
think-
to Kate?
I think so. I think she quotes it directly, but I think she puts the clip in here.
Okay. Because
Like,
that's
I
a
think
big difference. Like if he said happened to Kate.
Yeah.
Kate's disappearance, I have a whole playlist. Please go check it out. It shows the
great, by the way.
backstory even a year back.
Her hair
This
is
is
great.
nothing new to
know.
Sussex Squad. It has been developing. But the fact that a major player, mind you, the person that revealed who the royal racists were. You don't know who the royal racists are? They're the people that had concerns with Archie's complexion. Not questions, but concerns, okay? They didn't like the fact of a black baby being born into that royal family. But the word on the curve is Kate also don't like Rose's alleged Lily White Aristo bloodline being born into the royal family too. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Rose Hanbury is William's alleged long-term rumored mistress, okay? Now, keep this in mind as we move forward. First of all, let's hear what Pierce has to say, and then we're going to get into all the details. You guys, this is groundbreaking that Pierce Morgan is about to spill the beans. And baby, whatever's going on is dire. And I have a feeling that William is at the center of it, because if he wasn't, the same way the palace threw Kate under the bus for that fake picture, which, by the way, is so disgusting of William. The way they threw her under the bus, they would throw her under the bus too. This is a constitutional monarchy. They don't have a constitution when it comes to the monarchy crisis that is starting to rival what happened when Charles and Diana were getting divorced. There's already rumors that William and Kate are being divorced. Go watch the playlist. There's a bunch of videos, but let's get into what Pierce says, and then I'll meet you after the jump because, baby, we have so much to discuss. Let's go.
The world, Paula. And although on one level it could be trivial, right? It might just be literally she's okay, she's recovering well, she's trying to do something to correct the conspiracies and just got it wrong by editing and not realizing. Or it could be that they're hiding something. I mean, I've been told some stuff which is, if even half of it is true about what's happening here, is pretty alarming.
Oh my God, you guys come in,
Oh.
sit down and shut the door. The dam has
Hold on, I want to listen to that one part again.
LF2 sent me the full video, but I just don't know exactly in the full video if he says anything.
Yeah.
I just sent the full video to you, but I'm gonna scrub through it quick.
Okay.
Guys, let's go.
The world, Paula. And although on one level it could be trivial, right? It might just be literally she's okay, she's recovering well, she's trying to do something to correct the conspiracies and just got it wrong by editing and not realizing. Or it could be that they're hiding something. I mean, I've been told some stuff which is, if even half of it is true about what's happening here, is pretty alarming.
Oh my God, you guys.
Okay,
come
what's
in.
happening here, not what's happening to her. Like I get particular with the word choice, but could be. See, because at first what it sounded like he was saying is something that he may have been told and heard over time, and but then no, he specifically says what I've been told about what's going on here. Well, what have you been told that's going on here?
Right. Hang on, don't look at that one. I'm gonna, because I don't think that clip is from the same one. If LFT, if you're listening, I think that's like after the fact, because that girl that he's talking to is not in that clip.
Jump to part 15.
That's the other girl. There's another girl that's on part 17 right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Who's like, this is gonna be the most groundbreaking piece of it all. You guys think he's just clickbaiting? Noah says, I bet Pierce knows. Pesa says, I don't necessarily trust Pierce. I don't know.
I don't trust him, but I also think that if I don't trust him to put out accurate information in the royal family's favor. So for him to come out and speculate and be like, if only half the stuff is true, like, holy shit, then that's the opposite of what I think he would do. Like, I think
I agree.
if he was putting stuff out like he has in the past, it would be more of like, don't worry, guys, I've talked to people and she's just recovering. She's fine. You know, I think he would try to
simmer it down.
Yeah, I don't think he'd add to the conspiracy of saying that because he's already known as being, you know,
fueling the fire.
Yes, thank you.
But, because even if half that, so this isn't like a one situation thing. Either way, Pierce is saying he's privy to things being told to him that are bad.
Right. Pierce worked for the royal family. Interesting.
Oh, Miller, I'm so sorry. Miller says, I'm behind in the video, but I had an emergency hysterectomy. I spent 10 days in the hospital, almost 7 months recovery due to other complications, and was told I could end up with a colostomy bag. Jeez.
Oh, wow. So that's brings back up that other theory then that could add to the possibility if there was some type of, you know, yeah.
He was talking crap about William on one show.
Oh,
Is
interesting.
that because he's Camilla's? I don't know.
I don't know, because William would be the one person that would, I don't know. I've also heard more darker theories, which I'm not gonna bring light to necessarily. But people go nuts. Like, I know it's somewhat ill thought
Hi,
of for
Portlander.
us to bring up like the Taylor Swift theories or the Masked Singer. Like, that's one thing, but there are people out there that are like, oh, like, I'm not gonna obviously say the full thing, but they're like, William really has a bad temper and stuff like that.
TV switch. Yeah, they brought.
Yes.
Remember, I told you guys, I pointed out the injuries to Kate's finger and stuff. There are people who went down, the theorizing of DV. Like, I don't really see. Listen, it could happen within any relationship, but I think it's dangerous to go that route because there isn't anything that
proof wise.
There's
It's a
proof
very
line.
strong.
Yes, and it's an allegation, and people always remember the accusation. Nobody remembers the retraction, and those allegations can stick with him, and that's not cool.
Yeah. The only thing with those was just there was a photo, I think, of him somewhere, and
With
he had
his
like
neck,
bruises.
yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
bruises all over
right.
his neck. So, but like I said, I don't like to give into those ones, so we won't go
Right.
into that. But yeah,
'Cause
there
people will
are
jump. People will
Oh.
jump to the conclusions, and it really, you can't.
Yep.
With these theories, as fun as they could be, with the silly ones, like a dark accusation.
Yep.
On social media, it spreads like wildfire. And then put it this way, when people get put to the point where they believe something's going on, it doesn't matter if Kate turns out tomorrow, they show a united front. If people have in their mind that this is what happened, now you're just doing it to make everyone go hush hush, and the conspiracy will still go and go and go.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, and Debbie, that's kind of where we're at, is I want to make sure that as we're telling you guys all this information, that we're giving you all the information without necessarily giving you the bad side of things. So it's like, I'm bringing it up to tell you guys, hey, I saw it. We're not going to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I agree
that's
with you.
definitely one of them out there.
Yeah.
I hope. Here's the hard part, because I can't see. She's a very strong woman. I keep circling back to the being out on the steps. She respects her duty. She respects her role. She's done a phenomenal job in her situation. And so what it says to me is that there has to be something like significant enough for her to. She knows what's going on. She knows what's going on. She knows how bad it's getting. And for her to still not even to make like a 2-second cameo, whatever, to ease people's mind. And she loves the public. She loves the people in her country, so
Yeah.
she wouldn't want people to be concerned for her. I believe that she'd want to ease people's minds. So the fact that this is still an issue tells me there's got to be a deep underlying root to this.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to bring up Thomas Kington?
Oh, yes. Wait, okay, hold on. Wait, did you send it to me?
No. No malicious intent said it.
Oh, yeah, I guess you can. Yeah, I guess lightly.
Okay, yeah, Thomas
another one out
Kington
there.
was Pippa, so Kate Middleton's younger sister's ex-boyfriend, I believe. I believe he somehow is related as well to William, so I've heard, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't know exactly. I had read a few different places that they were possibly distant cousins or something like that, but I don't know for sure. But he obviously had dated Pippa for a while, and they broke up, and he obviously has like a new girlfriend and everything like that now. He's a cousin somehow. That's what I thought. Yeah, well, that's how they like it, Angel.
Hey, Big Al.
Hey, Big Al. But he ended up, was it last year, I think? Unaliving himself, supposedly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was under suspicious circumstances. A lot of people feel.
Yeah, a lot of people feel it was suspicious. The son-in-law of Queen Elizabeth's cousin. Okay, thank you, Heather. But it was something that it was due to a pew to the head, but I know the palace came out, or someone came out saying that there was no foul play suspected, something like that. But a lot of people, just with the timing of things and the proximity of things, this all kind of was happening right there at the end of the year last year. So there are a lot of people yeah. There are a lot of people that potentially tie his death to what's going on. If he either told Kate something and that caused her to have a mental breakdown, if he saw something or something like that, or just that he's somehow involved, which I don't necessarily know that theory. I don't really necessarily, well.
Right.
And so, but it is something that is brought up in that, because it's within the same time frame. And so anyone potentially taking their own life in the time frame of now, we haven't seen, Kate in however many days. I think there's a lot of questions that I don't think we're actually going to end up getting the answers to.
No.
Do I think necessarily that we deserve the answers? No. But as a society, we are curious people. And when you're the royal family, you're put out there as a public figure. Not only that, you're head of a country, like, I don't know all the legalities of it, but like, so in a way, although people aren't necessarily entitled to know everything about everything, I think that there is some type of, I don't know how to explain it, like feeling of, hey, you're the head of our country, let us know what the hell is going on, regardless of if they're legally head of the country, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I
I
just
think
want to know she's okay.
Yeah. And I'm in the same boat as you. It's like I'll go through all of these and I'll sit on TikTok for hours and just watch all of these over and over and over again, and like watching a different person say the exact same thing as the last person. But in the end, I think it's all just like we're all going to take that deep breath once we just see that she's okay. Will the conspiracy still be there?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. If they don't come out and be like, hey guys, sorry about that. This, and this was getting done and she just needed time. If that doesn't happen, which I don't think it's going to happen, she doesn't owe us that. And I think she deserves her privacy. Like, I do think that there's always going to be that question there, and I think that's always going to cause people to keep pushing and questioning things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, now just while still on this topic, real quick, what are your thoughts with Diana?
Ooh.
Have to ask.
Well, it depends on if the royals are listening or not, because I enjoy my life.
Oh, yeah. No.
I don't know. I would go with Big Al.
Yeah.
Or at least the situation was set up to be what it was. I don't know necessarily if they thought it was going to be as like final as it turned out to be. If it was just a scare tactic, or if they particularly thought that that was going to happen.
Well,
I don't know that aspect, but I do think it came from the highest up.
In the ambulance,
Oh yeah,
she was alive. She was alive.
awake.
She was talking.
Yep.
And then that ambulance made multiple
Took
stops.
the long way.
The long way, and made multiple stops. She could have survived. Not only did that accident, she survived the accident itself, but she could have survived if she got to the hospital in time.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And I hated Charles for what he, for how he treated Diana. But unpopular opinion, and just hear me out just for a second, okay?
Okay.
I hate Camilla, okay? I hate her. I do. But just be fair here. Isn't there something, putting my love for Diana, I'm loyal to Diana, but just put her to the side for a second. Isn't there something a little bit, I admire that their love, Charles and Camilla, she was nothing compared to Diana. Beauty-wise, personality, at least through our eyes, personality-wise, she was nothing in comparison to Diana. Yet, Camilla was the one he wanted, okay?
Yep.
But he continued his duties. He married Diana. He did what he was supposed to, but something always brought him back to Camilla. And whether we like her or not, I'm a fan of love. I do like love. And there's something sweet about that. At the end of the day, he was willing to sacrifice and when I say that, I'm not talking about Diana. I'm just saying, like, sacrifice the image, the perfect of the marriage, because he loved Camilla. It wasn't about looks. Diana blew her out of the water. It wasn't about the public support. He didn't care. He loved her. And then to see that they ended up back together, and I don't like the way it happened. Do not get me wrong. But there's something about, I have to believe that was true love then, because you could not pull yourself away from one another. And I hate her, don't get me wrong, but there's something about that relationship that I gotta respect it though. You love who you love, and you can't help that.
Well, and I think too, I don't necessarily think that they had a hand in Diana either necessarily. I think it all came from above them.
That's correct.
And someone in chat said something about the potential of her being pregnant with her new fiance's baby, and how they didn't want his bloodline as a half sibling to the royal children. And I think that that's something in itself that is believable. 100%.
That's it. And even just being out on the yachts and first of all, she's inspired every woman with that black dress. You guys remember that's her revenge dress, okay?
Yeah.
Because she left and then she walked in and she had this gorgeous, stunning black dress with her black tights. She looked bomb. And it was like, look what you lost. Like, she was bomb. But then she was in her bathing suit, even though it was a one piece, but she looked phenomenal. And they were not about to have that. They were not about to have that. But that's what made Diana just so amazing, right? Didn't she look fabulous? And Meghan, I'm not a Meghan fan. But Meghan tried to steal those looks, okay? She couldn't do it. But Camila did too. Did you ever see Camila try to do the side by side? Oh, hold on. I'll show you the side by side.
I'll say I have the off take on that, but I also don't necessarily look into that side of things. But I also am a big Suits fan, so for me, I'm like, oh, I like Meghan.
See,
but everyone else hates her.
I
What?
never watched Suits.
I didn't like her until I watched Suits.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Camilla tried. She tried, but you can't emulate Diana. Look at her. She walked out and baby, like it's almost like all of those chains just broke and this perfect and it's what's so crazy is that Diana dreamed about being queen. You know, she dreamed about being in the exact role she would ultimately end up being in. And then once she got there, it all like your whole image of everything, that I think that plays like a major role with social media today too. It's this image, this fake image that we all put out there. Meanwhile, behind the screens, you know, and at least for her, behind closed doors, it was the worst situation she could be in. She was miserable. She was heartbroken. She was like, she wanted to be in love with her husband. And she just was hurt, you know, she was just hurt over and over and over again. But then once she finally walked out, she came out looking like this. And it's like she finally was able to let go. So with Kate, I could imagine just how much freaking pressure there is to be perfect. You can't have a bad day. And not only your own self-pressure, but the literal palace telling you can't have a bad day. And if you dare to even like not be gone for a day, like they're photoshopping, editing images, putting like, that must be like, you don't have a voice at that point, you know, like they're your voice. So I think this image shows everything and it emulates that exact, I'm free, but she wasn't, sadly she wasn't. But I think is awesome.
Yeah, no, unfortunately she never actually got free from that situation.
No, she did not, unfortunately.
I will say, I'm sure you've watched it, but one of the things that I do for, not for fun, because it's not necessarily fun, but if you go back and watch the hours of breaking news coverage on big situations like this, on YouTube, you can just search like breaking news Diana's death, and it'll show you from when the news stations broke into the coverage as well as the aftermath. And it is so interesting to watch, especially because I obviously, well, when did she die? Well, I was a baby, regardless. But there's a lot of things that you don't realize happened, or how the news covers things, or just different things like that are so interesting when you go back and just watch the long footage. So like sometimes if I'm interested in a subject of some kind, I'll just turn on like the 6 hours of live coverage, and it's just so interesting to see it as it happened. And that's one of the things that I've done, is watched the entirety of the news cycles finding out about Diana till like the hours after the fact, and it's so intriguing.
They were,
like I said, not entertaining, but it's like you almost like you literally will just sit there for like 6 hours.
Yep. And there's something that you can't get from recaps or people breaking it down. There's something different about when you watch it in real time and you're watching it unfold, you're watching the reactions. You could feel the energy.
Yeah, you can feel the impact that she had on people that she didn't even know. That, I mean, you go on, like, if you search YouTube and you're like reactions to Princess Diana's death, there's people here in the States that were recording themselves just sitting watching the TV crying. Yeah, I was 3 when she died, so 97.
I was 6. Yeah, I was 6.
So it's like there's just I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever watched those, the JFK.
You never watched the JFK ones?
I don't know if I
Girl.
have.
That's another conspiracy night then, because
Yeah.
the JFK is just.
I know the conspiracies. I just don't know if I've actually ever watched the live breaking news footage of it.
You have to, because then you have Oswald, who was, as they were covering it, and then, you know, like, not only is everyone just in a standstill, then we have him the first walkthrough of him being arrested, boom, boom, shot, you know, like, and so it's like, oh my God, you know, and it's just so different watching that time period with the black and white. Well, yeah, it still was black and white, you know, like, and it's just so eerie, you know, it's so different.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow, Lori. Yeah, it was a different time. It was a different time. Yeah, Marilyn Monroe too. I know exactly where I was standing. I was doing dishes and walked into the living room. Wow, man.
See, I'll be 30 this year.
Stephanie.
So that's a big thing
You
for me.
haven't hit 30 yet. Oh, whatever.
October of this year, I'll be 30.
Oh, my gosh. Michelle says, anyone remember watching the Challenger explode in school? I thought I did in elementary school, but that's clearly a false memory that I had, because I wasn't even born yet. So
that's how I am with 9/11, because I was in first grade. I had just started first grade. And I remember the teacher turning it on and just watching it on TV while we all sat there.
Oh,
but then I'm like, would a teacher really, when I'm not even, first grade is like 7 and 8?
Mm-hmm.
Would they really have put it on for a bunch of us to watch?
Well, honestly,
like, or did I just see that like on a documentary or something and then adapt that? Like, I don't remember.
Well, see, with me, because I'm in New York, we had lockdown and then we were dismissed. So I was dismissed and I was back home and I watched the towers fall once home. But our clouds were so, you could just see, because I'm in Long Island, but you could see right across to the city. And it was a beautiful sunny day. It was a beautiful sunny day. I was in 5th grade. And then it was just a cloud of dark. And that cloud of dark did not pass for a long time. Like, it just stayed stagnant in the air. But it's funny how you remember certain things, because I remember the principal coming to my teacher, and you remember things, at least for me, I remember things in images. Like, I remember just what I was looking at. And I remember he whispered in her ear, and her face, I'll never forget her face. Like, we didn't know what was going on. You know, we didn't find out till after we were dismissed. But all of a sudden, all the blinds go down and you go into lockdown. And you could tell it was not a drill, you know, and then you all go into the auditorium. And they thought America, and that's what I was going to say, like, maybe it did happen with your first grade teacher, because to be fair, not so much to show the students, but America was under attack. America was under attack. And so she may have just been turning it on so she knew what the hell's going on. How could that teacher possibly continue to teach when you have no idea what's about to happen? And
that's true. So and the thing is too, is one of my neighbors actually now works with that teacher, so I actually could figure that out now that I think about it.
That would be interesting to know, actually, if you formed that memory or if it legit happened.
I'm definitely messaging her right now. She won't answer because it's 10:40, but I'm going to.
Well, that's another one. If you enjoy, honestly,
I've watched that. I try and actually watch that every year. I watch the breaking news coverage on 9/11.
Well, I wouldn't even suggest, but of course, watch that too. But there is a mass amount of home footage of what happened on the shoots. Okay. I'll send it all to you, because I have
that'd be great
series. There is a massive amount of home footage of, a lot of people don't even realize that, you know, the what's it called? The lobbies were blown out. There's footage of the firefighters first going to the trade centers, yet the lobbies are blown out. You hear explosions, their noses are bleeding, everything is busted out, yet and this is getting into a whole different territory, but
Yeah.
it should have been the 70-something floor above. The lobby should
Yeah.
have been fine. And that's the footage they will not show you because there is no logical explanation of why
Right.
the lobby is blown out when it had the impact zone was above 70-something floors. And that is very the footage, it's
Oh.
eerie, it's creepy, but it's very, very telling. And that stuff you're not going to get in a short segment of very clipped, filtered stuff. And it's all available. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please do, because I'm very interested in watching it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, and that's what they were saying, Julie, like conveniently along with the one theory of Rose potentially being pregnant, maybe with Kate, maybe Kate. I mean, we could flip this back the other way and say maybe this was some type of other affair, and then the same way, but that's pure speculation. To be fair, it's just pure speculation. All we know is that she hasn't physically been seen. Photos are altered, and that's it. Everything else is speculation and theories.
Yeah.
Yes, I have watched Loose Change. Oh yeah, I don't like the 9/11 memorials personally, but that's just me. But a lot of people say it's not what they think, because when you go, I think you expect it to be silent and people to be it's the city. And so people, of course, are respectful, but at the same time, it's moving, hustle, bustle everywhere, and so
yeah.
but I
I've been there.
I don't particularly like it. Yeah,
I've been there.
Down.
What do you think about the museum there?
Well, I struggle with this, I think I don't like the setup. I don't particularly like the setup.
Mhm.
I really do not like the two memorials.
Yep.
They flow into a dark abyss of nothingness. It doesn't feel good, at least for the families of the victims.
It's like bringing it down versus bringing them up.
Yes. And so I remember when we first saw it, and we were going to find, our family member's name on it, because all the family members' names are etched into the side of it. And it's these two huge square, it's the footprints of where the tower stood, but then it has the flowing water. Now, this is where it at least tripped me out, because when you see flowing water, usually you hear trickles. Okay. You hear the,
Yeah.
This somehow does not. So not only is it flowing over the edge into a big square abyss, it's very minimalistic, but then in the center, it's a big square black hole, and all of this water is funneling down into it, yet it's silent. You do not hear that water hitting the bottom of anywhere. So it tripped me out, at least, because it's like, that gives me a very eerie, ominous, dark feeling. Yet I remember my friend Holly was up on this panel, and she said, well, doesn't that hit it perfectly, actually? Doesn't that emanate the exact feelings of that day? And I said, yes, fair enough. But at least when I'm thinking of, my family member, why would I want to associate that? You know what I mean?
You want to go somewhere that makes you somewhat comfortable to remember them, not necessarily to remember what they went through.
Right. But I understood her point of view, because I didn't think of that, because she's like, to me, it sounds like they captured the moment perfectly. And it's like, I get that, but I don't want to think of these victims trapped in that moment forever, because that's what it kind of seems like, at least when you go there. Like, it's like, yes, it emanates that moment, but why would you want to memorialize that family member in that moment forever? It's just weird. I don't know. It's weird.
I get that.
Weird.
Well, and it's kind of the same feeling as when you first go into the not when you first go in, but when you first go down the escalator into the museum and it has the beams still.
Yeah.
That was also like uncomfortable almost.
Yeah, and we have a beam right here out at our park, and I'm not one of these people who are weird like this, but I touched the beam, and when I touch the beam, I close my eyes, and energy does absorb into things. Like they say, if something traumatic happens somewhere, it absorbs into like objects and things. And I swear, like when I touch that beam, like I felt like the energy, and it's just a little piece of the beam because there wasn't many large pieces of the beams left. Yet you could feel something go through your body of that captured in that beam. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, that's.
Oh wow.
And like I
My-
said, I've found it very interesting just because, like I said, for me, I don't necessarily remember it,
Yeah.
but I feel like I do because of the amount of information that I've taken in.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's so interesting to hear where everyone else was. You know, even just being on here.
Hearing where
Yeah.
everybody else was, because what a lot of people don't know is that cell phones went down that day. They could not make calls out. So not only were they trapped in the city and they couldn't get over the bridge, they could not make calls out. And that's why I'm saying watch the home footage, because that's not the stuff they'll show you on the news, is like people recording because they didn't know what was happening. They had no idea what was happening. And so you're watching them on the streets and you're watching them as a terror, you know, and they're dust plumes and they're please, can I use your cell phone? Please, please, please. They're running into the stores trying to get, you know, out of there. And they weren't going out. All the networks were down. They could not make a call out to their family members.
Dang.
And it's you're watching molten steel. Do you know what degrees it has to get to for steel to turn to molten lava?
Yeah.
Flow out of these windows. And that's what they're not going to show you, though. Of course, that's not what they're going to show
Right.
you. And you hear boom, 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 multiple what sounds like bombs going off. And it's just, you have to dig through that horrible footage. But honestly, you also have to be prepared because it is unedited and there's a lot of horrific things in there, and it fucks with your head, you know, because it's a very dark mind space. So you have to be prepared going into it.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you sharing everything.
Oh yeah, of course. But thank
love
you
to
for
learn.
coming on. And
Yeah,
this
thank you
is a
for
rabbit
having me.
hole. And I think, all right, so the next event we are supposed to see Kate at is, I believe, on the 31st, correct?
Well, so that it depends. That was the official one. Now there have been different postings in regards to the potential of them pushing it out till June. So,
oh my good, June?
They've said, yeah, so they've specifically, like, I think the official timeline originally was she will go back to her original duties after Easter. So right after Easter, which is the 31st, is when she'll go back to her princess duties for the palace. Since then, I don't know if they were coming out of the official stuff, but it was stated that there's the potential for it to now be pushed back to June, or at least that they've canceled everything through June.
Jesus.
So
Okay.
not necessarily that she won't be seen, but that she won't have any official
No effect.
appearances until June.
So all we could do really is sit and wait after Easter, see what happens. But I guarantee with the way that things are going every day, like this is just going to keep every day that passes that she's not seen, it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm sure we'll be on with some updates. Yeah, because this is crazy. But that's what's going on. Where is Kate Middleton? It's all around TikTok. I didn't realize I haven't seen much on the YouTube shorts, but I did see that there are some bigger creators that have been covering it as actual long videos on YouTube. So
Yeah.
I hope she's okay. That's all I care about. The rest is really none of our business. But I guess we'll see. And thank you so much for coming on, guys. And I'm going to drop Mallory's link once again for anybody who's on the replay. Mallory's link has been dropped throughout the night. And her channel name is MALicious Intent, and she has an amazing channel, and she really focuses on the smaller cases that don't get as much coverage. And so thank you so much for coming on. It was the first of many, I hope, and I look forward to having you on again soon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I had a great time.
Me too. And I hope Kate is spotted soon and no
Yes.
more fabricated photos, but I guess we shall see.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good night, everybody. Good night, Mallory.
Bye.
Bye.